Hello, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Raid Chat podcast. Run this shit back to back. Still, latest shit. It's actually even later than the first podcast. I think it got cut because we did part of the intro over on the last one. We had the podcast scheduled yesterday at 9 o'clock. Greg, fuck off. I can hear you going to eat. We scheduled last night's podcast for 9 o'clock, and we started like at 11:15. We had it scheduled again today for 9 o'clock, and it is now 11:41. So we're getting worse. Hopefully, I guess podcast content-wise, we're better. But on this episode, we're going to be diving into some anime. But first, let me reintroduce the boys. My lovely co-host. Well, my 4 lovely co-hosts. Number 1. No, 4.
Okay.
4 lovely co-hosts. Starting number 1, the man who's been unseen. Don't worry, when we see him, it will be a glorious day. My boy.
Y'all ain't ready for it. Y'all aren't ready for it.
Subscribers.
150 subscribers, and you'll see the Bollywood.
150 subs or 1K views on.
Even though my avatar is my face, but
it's up yet now. But we need to see him in the flesh.
He is way more tired than he appears.
yeah.
My boy.
I'm Fahad again. I'm still allergic to nuts, but thanks for the 30 plus views we got in the first podcast, guys.
Yeah, we have 30 views at the time of recording.
24 hours.
Which is
Less
very,
than 24.
which is very big for me being like a failed YouTube channel. So
Washed up.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, my boy, top middle, Big Rich. Give him something.
What's up, guys? Thanks for the support on the last video. I just want to say I gave up watching Tarzan to be here right now, so I did it for y'all.
He could have finished it too, which is pretty sad.
He could have finished it before we started.
It took us forever to get this started, but it's okay. All right, number 3, my boy, Big David in the top right.
What's up, guys? David.
That's all we need.
That's a good answer.
That's all.
I
we
like
need.
that.
Story.
That's all we needed. All right, bottom left, my boy Greg, who's teetering on hitting Justin territory, but he's okay right now. He's eating McDonald's.
Alright.
He's the
McDonald's.
shout out McDonald's. He's the reason why this took so long.
Fuck you.
We had to wait for his mom to come bring him McDonald's, and
Fuck you.
We had to wait for his mom to bring him McChicken nuggets.
yeah, he's gonna.
Mommy, I need my nuggets.
It's worth it for the nugs.
Yeah, I guess. And then, all right, last and certainly least, my boy, Justin. My boy Justin. Give him a little something with your jewel, you disgusting fuck.
Let's say no smoke comes out.
Okay, so if you're listening to this as an audio, he just blew a bunch of smoke into the camera. That's all you need to know.
That's
Okay.
all I need to do. That's all I do.
So, like I said, today's topic, we're going to be diving into anime. Last episode, we did a lot of talk on gaming, EA, Activision, like shitty game companies. Excuse you. Shitty game companies. So if you want to take a look at that, go tune back into the first episode of the podcast. Very special episode.
Number 1.
The very first.
Number 1 podcast. We're beating
But-
everybody.
In today's episode, why don't we run through first real quick and just let everyone know what our personal favorite animes are. Just, give them an idea of what type
Besides Corey in the house.
Besides Corey, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
off limits.
Damn it.
I mean, that's a given.
of... Yeah, Corey in the House is, like, by far the best, but
We actually have Corey in the chat right now. Give it up to Greg.
Greg,
Oh wait, he actually has the theme memorized. He has the theme song memorized.
don't
Yeah.
start singing it. Okay.
I'm not.
Alright, we'll start in the order of the intro of our intros. So, Fahad Jamal, favorite anime of all time. You could even give me a little mini.
So, I'm definitely the one out of the group who's watched the least amount of anime. So, if I had to pick a favorite, I mean, the biggest one I've seen so far is Naruto. So, I guess I have to go with that.
My man. Why is
Even though it's the
Naruto
most
Why
mentioned.
Naruto is also my favorite. The greatest.
Is it
of
really?
all. Yeah, of course. Come on.
I mean, it took Norman is the one who mainly got me into it, and it took a lot of convincing, but I don't regret a single bit of it because I loved every minute of it.
So for him, it was like one of his like first, I guess, like watches in anime. But for me, like I grew up watching that shit, so I fucking love
Yeah.
Naruto.
And like, especially since he was trying to convince me to watch like a 500 episode show, and you know, I didn't think I'd actually do it, but I got hooked onto it, and I just couldn't stop. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Hopefully, we get to talk about it a little bit.
Richard, give me a little something.
Backstory: I actually used to hate anime growing up. Like Dragon Ball would like come up on TV, and I'd immediately change the channel. But then I met some of the weebiest people I know, and I fell in love with them. And I became one of them. I think I also have to be basic and say Naruto. Also, Norman's the one who got me into it. It took a little bit to get me started, but once I started, I couldn't stop, and it's the first anime I ever cried to.
Beautiful.
Yep.
That's an accomplishment.
Hey,
That's an accomplishment.
Greg
That's an
spoiled almost
accomplishment.
every big thing in there.
I think we all know, like, there's like that thing that anime does, like when you're watching, and it's like you get that little, like, it's like that feeling, like it's like you feel it when you're watching the scene, and it's like it might not be
It's
like
like
I'm about to
the-
cry type shit, but you're like, oh, this is fucking lit, or like this is fucking sad. Like you just feel it.
Especially
Yeah.
with Naruto, where it's such a long anime, and you get so
You get
like,
so attached.
attached to these characters. So
That
when
does
something
happen.
bad happens or good, you feel for them.
Well, it's just also the benefit that like an anime has because actors grow up or age, but like an anime could go on forever, and it's just whatever the characters are, just whatever the story is.
All right.
A close second is Full Metal Alchemist, and a sleeper is Hitman Reborn.
Okay. Full Metal. Full Metal was one of my first, so I don't remember it too much. And then Hitman Reborn, I never
Full
watched.
Metal was heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
very
David.
Brotherhood.
David being the most seasoned, probably anime viewer in the group.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure from the group I've watched probably more than all of them combined.
Oh,
yeah,
he's had
I'm
to he's
pretty-
had to flex on us real quick.
No, I'm pretty confident I have. I really don't have a favorite anime. I just have watched too much.
No, but you gotta pick one.
All right, give me like at least a few favorites.
Oh damn. Okay, well, High School DxD, that could be one.
I thought you say High School Musical at first. But okay.
High School
Picking High
DxD,
School 8 DxD.
and then you got like so many other ones like what ReZero. You got ReZero.
How could I forget ReZero?
ReZero is good.
Yeah,
ReZero's
Steins Gate.
good. Steins Gate's good too.
Zetsu no Tempest, and then just all these other animes. Naruto obviously being one of them.
Oh yeah, I think.
And you know, the Deli was actually I never finished watching Naruto Shippuden, and the Deli pretty much made me want to finish it, and I don't regret it.
See,
He made all of us, yeah,
Look at that.
watch it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, those are probably some of the ones I most like
Okay.
from all of them.
All right, Greg, give me some.
All right, you guys all said Naruto. Basic gas answer. My favorite anime of all time, with no doubt, is Gurren Lagann. That is my favorite
Gurren
fucking anime
Lagann.
of all time.
I watched.
It is the only mech show besides Evangelion that I have ever watched that I was like legitimately just in love with. I've watched it 7 times.
Oh, bro, he rubbing his nips. He's getting into it.
I watched.
He's really
Both-
into it.
Both dub and sub, and it was the best show I've ever watched. Hype as shit you ever watched too.
Gordon Lagann was. See, I watched that shit when I was like, I was still a basic ass. I was still a basic.
And you didn't
dub.
even know what it was, right?
Yeah, no, I was a basic dub still, so I was watching it. I thought it was cool just because like the voice actor who plays Gohan from Dragon Ball, like the
Yeah.
adult Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, played Kamina. So I was like, oh, this is cool. I know who this guy is, and then he died. So I was like, okay.
Oh, if you're taking like older ones, I mean, I guess Inuyasha was another one.
I didn't watch
another
it,
runner is the most depressing anime I've ever seen,
But,
and that's Welcome to the NHK.
What is that?
It was-
Welcome to
It's,
the.
it's about this guy who just he's like a shut, and he never like he has a fear of just going outside and socializing, but he meets this girl that he likes so much that it starts making him wanting to grow out of his shell. But every time he tries, it just gets more and more depressing. Like
That
in an
sounds
episode,
sad.
he gets addicted to online role playing games to the point where it's actually destroying his life.
Jesus. Okay, well that sounds sad.
Sounds
Oh.
familiar.
It's very fucking sad, but it's really good.
Justin's like story of my life. All right, Justin. Last but not least, will we get the 4P or no? We get a 3P in Naruto, or will we get something different?
If I'm gonna say a few, I'm gonna
few.
say.
Give me.
I'm
All right,
gonna
give me your
say-
few. Give me your few, but then give me the number one. Kind of, you have like a number one.
I'm gonna say Death Note, Cowboy Bebop, Naruto. Shit. What else? What else? I really the Steins Gate.
Raven, that's
Dude, Steins Gate. Yeah, actually, that it's Steins Gate. Those are probably in my upper echelon.
What about Shimoneta?
I'd say
Shimoneta's funny. I wouldn't like put it like in my
Mm.
in my top. I think
I
I
think
think
Konosuba
Konosuba. I was
has
gonna
to
say
be up there.
Konosuba is in there. I think honestly, if it's not Naruto, I'd probably say like Konosuba's like top. It's top 3 to
if I had
5.
to rate a number one, just from the point where I watched it, like probably Cowboy Bebop, just because when I watched it, I was like, oh, this shit's old, but like it's the number one rated, like it gets so much hype, and I'm like, why does it get this? Number one, fucking amazing jazz intro, best, literally one of the best intros ever, easily, but the story is fucking fire, and the climax of the end is fucking great, and that's what we all like, a good fucking climax.
Yeah, I think we all like good climaxes.
Boy,
That
no.
was horribly fucking awkward.
I think like the intro like makes like a lot of shows too. Like I feel like you have to have a good intro now.
But like
See-
when you're talking about iconic anime,
He
What?
just-
You
wait,
muted
just
yourself.
cut and muted.
You muted yourself.
When we talk about iconic anime mutes, you're still muted. Greg died.
Okay.
Oh, I also gotta put Brotherhood in there.
Brother,
That would be like the
Oh, oh.
5, I guess.
When I said Full Metal, I of course meant Brotherhood.
Of course, you have to.
It's inferred.
You have to.
can you hear me
Granted, the doctor scene of it being 2 episodes, that little story point is way better in the original, but like overall, easily fucking Brotherhood.
now? I agree. I finally actually just finished Brotherhood. Like a month back.
I need to take some time and
Never
watch
got a
it.
chance.
Dude,
Uh,
there are so many videos on like the philosophy of it and all that shit, just people deep diving on it. Same thing with like, it's the same thing with Cowboy Bebop. Like it has a good like theme and what it's trying to prove and like questions it raises, which is what you want from a good like drama kind of that's layered over with action, like Full Metal and Cowboy are.
But it's cool. It's cool in Full Metal. Like the Philosopher's Stone's actually like a thing in real life. Like it's in Harry Potter, and people actually
yeah.
believe there's something out there. Like Nicholas Flamel's a real person.
Yeah, because I think it's from like
Yeah.
it's from like Eastern like some folklore shit that it's
Yeah.
like it's some like it does all this crazy, like everyone claims it does all this crazy shit.
Isn't Nicholas
I know-
Flamel like a thing in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I was being stupid.
The Sorcerer's Stone, like the first book, the first movie, is the Philosopher's Stone.
yeah, that's what they call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's basically it just has all these different names, but it's basically the same thing.
Wait, that's
Well, I
so
think
cool.
in England, they call it the
It's
Philosopher's Stone, not the
Philosopher.
Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah, it's only Sorcerer's Stone here in America.
I think
Pretty cool.
one of the reasons why they changed it is because religion. They didn't want to be like, oh, fucking.
And that's
So
what
that's
that is one thing that Full Metal just absolutely deep dives in on. Like the whole like where they die and they go to the gate, like that whole shit. Where he has all the different names, like that shit, like so. In the ending, where he finally figures it out, so good.
It was kind of, I felt like it was almost a little overwhelming. The
Yeah.
ending,
Yeah.
it revealed a lot, and it answered all your questions, but it's like you couldn't do more. It's just a white room with the door.
Yeah,
Well, it is everything and nothing at the same time. To kind
Yeah.
of make sense.
yeah.
Interesting.
Dude, that show
And,
is
and then,
fire.
I don't want to go too much because Fahad hasn't watched it, but the figure of that guy being what he is.
Yeah.
It kind of makes a lot of sense when you really think about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, just like reaching and trying to progress further and further and further all the way up. But
Okay.
he's trying to reach it.
Now that we're done, dick riding Full Metal Alchemist. I didn't think we were gonna go so deep into Full Metal. I was really surprised. I thought, like,
It's
honestly, I
so
thought Naruto.
good.
Yeah, it's really
It's
good.
super good.
I didn't watch Brotherhood, but whatever. All right,
You need to
Oh
watch
my
Um,
god, I cannot believe
you
you haven't watched
I'll
fucking
watch-
Brotherhood.
I'll take the
It's
It's
time.
so much better than the normal one.
I've only watched part of Full Metal, never finished.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll watch it.
So
Just watch the live action.
Don't.
the
The
live,
live action
Don't.
movie esque. We
Don't
all,
ever
The
watch.
only anime I watch is live action.
we all love live action anime. It's totally the best.
Especially
Is
Death
it-
Note live action.
Death
Is
Note
it
live.
really
Oh,
Okay, so
Especially
Say
Dragon
Magnifique.
Ball.
people who've never watched Death Note, like my girlfriend, I just got her into it. She watched the Death Note live action. She liked it, but she'd never watched the anime. So I feel like
Uh-huh.
it was well made. Like Ryuk was good. The story was kind of there.
It was
But
fucking Green Goblin. That's why.
yeah. So I think for people like outside looking in, it was good. But for us who watched Death
That
Note,
shit
and
was
loved it,
trash.
it just
Dude,
the story
I-
was all over the place.
I had one of my friends friends already watched it, and he said like he thought it was good or okay at best, and I just told him like the fact like all the different stuff that like this doesn't happen, this character's completely different. I literally just told like, hey, Light isn't a bullied kid who's like some fucking school shooter. And like he is in the movie. No, he's really like
Light-
the number one person at every class.
yeah, I was
like
gonna say like
he's,
that dude.
he's the valedictorian. Like he literally is. He's seen as someone that's gonna like change the world. Like he's seen as like this like amazing
He did.
person, like someone that could be like president or something.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's worth mentioning the Dragon Ball live action movie that came out a couple years
Oh
ago.
yeah, no.
I think
The
Yeah,
Dragon,
live
no,
action
that-
movie? I don't remember that
the
movie.
Dragon
Even
Ball
if
live
you
action
never
movie.
It was so bad.
It is
There's
the
a
worst I've
Attack
ever
on
seen.
Titan one. That one absolutely horrendous.
Yeah,
Really?
I bet too.
Yeah.
JoJo's one too.
Really?
JoJo has
Yeah.
one. That sounds.
I want to see the Mob Psycho one.
There's a Mob Psycho one.
I heard the Mob
Yeah.
Psycho. Dude, I heard the yeah. Okay. Oh my god, I totally forgot about Erased.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh
one.
my god.
Oh, like is your favorite?
No, dude. The Erased live action
There's a
movie.
live action.
Like the live action has some good like the touching moments that are from the show, like
How do
they
you-
kind of do hit,
How
but
do you
like
fuck
there's
that
just
up?
stuff. The good thing about Erase is that it's all realistic. It can all be done. Like there's nothing unrealistic about the show that can not be like easily done in live action. The actors do well. It's just that some of the moments just don't hit as hard.
Mm.
It's just like they do a good job like trying to hit all the plot points, and they do cut out a lot of the stuff that you don't really need to do that they did in the show, like stuff that's not really important that you don't need for the main stuff. But it like I don't know that just like that scene of when they go to the museum, like yeah, like just the scene where they go to the museum is in the anime. It's literally like a perfect like great scene. You like the music and the shot composition is amazing, and it's just like it's a perfect scene. It conveys exactly what you want to feel from that. Like it's perfect.
The
So like the
JoJo's
live action tried, but yeah.
the JoJo's live action movie does the same thing, where like anime movie or anime live action movies always have to cut down what they're adapting to fit into like a 1.5 or 2 hour movie.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the first parts of because it's the part 4 movie because they didn't do like any
Yeah.
other parts. So like they cut down a lot. They cut down so much that like at the end of the movie they like show the main antagonist, like he shows up.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
And
the
where they
whole
end
point
all
is that
that
they find him and they have no idea who he is. Like
Yeah,
that's
like
the whole
that-
point.
at the end of the because it goes up to the Bad Company arc, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he comes out of nowhere. I'm just like, oh, what?
That's
Like
weird.
the
So,
best
like-
part in that show, the best part in that arc is when they're chasing him and they go through
Yeah.
the beauty thing,
So,
and
yeah.
then they fucking just lose it.
Oh, and it's
they're
like so wild.
what
Yeah,
the
that show was
fuck?
crazy.
Yeah, and you're just like, wait a minute, he's actually gone.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Like,
I
it
remember
was,
that.
fucking
a strong point of his character was that he was like a social chameleon. Like he was
Yeah.
a psychopath basically, but he completely acts normal.
Yeah. But he
Like that's the whole point of his character.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And it's just like, I don't know, unless you were gonna totally reorder the events to fit making him a good villain, there's no way they could follow it. I love the character designs in the movie. That like the way Jotaro's like hat hair like is
Yeah.
real.
I'll never
That shit
understand
is
that shit.
So funny, dude. That's the best.
That is
That's the
funny,
best
though.
part of his character.
It is those little
Like-
things where it's like, it's just like, why is it like
your
that? But
hat-
it's like, it's fucking,
if-
it's like their thing.
Dude, my favorite part of Stardust Crusaders is when he takes his hat off and you
It's
see the
the-
hair
it's
part
the-
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the hair part on it, and I'm like, sure, I guess.
All right,
You gotta weave attached to it.
he do got a wee bit touch.
Exactly.
I
I'm
really
saying-
why would you buy a hat like that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Okay.
All I'm saying
At
is I'm
that
waiting
point-
for the prison school live action. We
Yeah.
gotta
The
push for
Prison
that.
School live action is just straight
Wait,
pornography.
Is it prison school live action?
Well, this is
Nah,
real.
nah,
Oh,
nah,
No,
that's
there's
the
no
fact.
way.
I was
It's
like,
actually,
where
it
do
would
I
literally-
search? Where do I watch this?
Richard,
Or can I find
those shots in that show, in order to do the same comedic effect, like it would literally be insane. There's no way. It's literally impossible.
Like
It literally
honestly,
just be porn.
judging from the manga, I wasn't even expecting it to be a fucking anime, seeing as how graphic it was in some points.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they
Like
even-
even with like
I
the
mean-
face sitting and shit.
they just go so fucking crazy. They're just like, what can we get away with? Like, what can we get away with and still like try to like to still make it like, oh, this is just an anime.
It's so
Like, what can we
hilarious.
get away
though,
with?
despite
But
all
it's
that.
so fucking
It's
funny.
so good, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, if they were able to get away with violent shit, like in that one show I watched, God's Game, or King's Game.
Yeah.
Horrible show. Fucking violent for no reason. It's literally just watching Destination.
Oh, so you mean like Blood Plus? You ever seen that? one?
Something like, yeah, I've seen the death scenes to that. It's fucking gruesome.
It's for no reason. I hate that show, to be honest.
Yeah, so then you got something like that. I'd say if they can get away with that, why not have, little softcore hentai here and there?
I tried to watch Terraformers, and literally Crunchyroll only has like the censored version. So literally, the guy fights a bear in like the first scene, and as soon as some action happens, half of the screen is just black. And I'm like,
Wait,
how
he just
does
blacks
anyone
it out?
watch this? It literally it's like in JoJo when like they get cut or like they smoke a cigarette, and like some of the scenes they
black it
darken
out.
his face.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
darken his face in the shadow so you can't see it, but you literally see the embers and the smoke. I'm like, what's he doing? It's crazy.
Well, like because it's against the law in Japan for like for media depicting minors smoking cigarettes, and as
And
early
he
as
is technically in high school, yeah.
he's 15.
He's 15. That's
He's
bullshit.
15.
He's
Fuck outta here.
15.
Yeah.
Jotaro?
I'm dead.
Yeah, Jotaro's like
He's
Jotaro's 15. You kidding?
Yeah,
Damn, that's crazy.
and he's like
15,
He's like 6'11".
He's like 6'11", has like the body of like Goku.
Okay, but everybody in
were-
that show's ripped. Remember, like the main villain in Stardust Crusaders, the Sun. The Sun
Mhm.
was ripped too.
They were all jacked. Everyone in that show was
Yeah.
jacked. I wish I lived in JoJo's world.
For real.
Actually,
It's
no,
like,
no,
Everyone-
if
my-
if
no,
Baki,
my
everybody's
favorite-
overly big.
yeah.
Never
My
ending
favorite is when they
horror.
wear shirts. It just like
And the
their
shoulder-
shoulders are
Like
like
Titus,
shut out.
Titus is
They're like sharp
It's-
as
Like
fuck.
circles.
Like
Yeah.
their shoulders are like
Everybody got Dwight Howard shoulders.
No, like straight up, and it's only in Stardust Crusaders, but they all have circle shoulder blades.
like it
That shit
goes
pissed- that
like
shit had
it's
me
the-
so
it's
pissed
the
in the beginning.
shoulder. It's the shoulder muscle, and then it just drops, and then it's
What,
flat.
what annoyed me with
God.
that was like when they have shirts off, like when people like Polnareff and that, his shoulders are normal, but like people
Yeah.
who wore
Yeah,
sleeves, like
it's
and
only
they had
when
the
they have shirts
that shit
on.
was so annoying.
Fucking circles.
Wearing shoulder pads should have me so tight. Okay, are we good on that?
And the
Let's-
bitches would even have
let's-
that too.
Let's hop into some winter 2019, the current I don't know if it's still current at spring. I don't know when spring 2019 starts.
I think spring started.
It started? Okay,
And
so-
it may be a day or two, but
Okay.
it's
Okay,
close.
so we'll start with technically last season. Even though some of the
Let's
shows,
do
I
it.
guess
That's,
some of the shows
let's,
are like,
let's talk
This was a
about
lit
what was
season.
good.
yeah, I
This
think,
was a lit season.
I think so. I
So
think
are
like,
we
It was
going
really
like
good.
so
oh yeah. So if you haven't watched this yet, I mean, like, it's been like a whole season of like anime. So like I'll put a little spoiler warning. I even put a little text in there for a little spoiler. Also, I'm gonna set timestamps too, because like I'm gonna set timestamps like where we can like people can get through the videos. But I think like the big three for this season, we'll probably just like highlight the big three and talk about them, and then like probably just list off some of the ones that we thought were like good also.
I
But I think
want to
the-
talk about JoJo's
Yeah, JoJo's
and Mob.
JoJo's is in there. But I think the big three that are new, because JoJo's like a continuation. I mean, new like I guess new
Yeah.
main character, but like kind of a continuation still.
Yeah, like Mob Psycho doesn't count because
Yeah.
it's a continuation.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll count Mob just because it's like a brand. I guess you count JoJo's too. Then if I
Yeah, I
count
was gonna
Mob.
say if you're counting,
you gotta
Mob,
count
it's
Mob,
not
you count
continuation.
JoJo.
So it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, like,
Okay.
there's five. We'll talk about five.
Yeah.
The new three and the continuation too.
Yeah. So. Oh no. My three was Mob, so it's only four.
Oh,
So Mob Psycho being one. Rising of the Shield Hero and Promised Neverland. We'll start with Mob Psycho just because there was a season 1. And I think, did everyone here watch? No, everyone but Fahad Jamal watched season 1, right?
Alright,
Yeah.
so should I dip for a bit? Just mute. I'll just mute myself.
Yeah.
You
So
do
yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't care about the other two, right? You don't care if you get spoiled on the
No,
other two.
I don't care about the other two.
Dude.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, just
Okay. Everyone say bye,
Have fun.
Fahad.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Fahad.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay, he's good. Alright, I'm assuming he's gone now. So in alright, let's see. Mob Psycho season 2. I
Okay,
think
so
it just recently finished. At the
recently
time of this
finished.
recording,
Yeah, time of
This
the
is
recording.
recently
Last
finished.
episode finished 2 days ago?
yeah, on April 1st.
April 1st, yeah.
let's
Um,
talk about the first episode of Mob. That shit was so heat.
What happened? In that,
Heat.
what happened in that first episode?
He was talking to this girl that like fake asked him out.
Oh, the fake
And
bitch.
he
Yeah,
was
that
like-
shit was
he
so.
was- and he
Oh
that
was
shit was
like,
good.
That shit
like,
hurt.
that
Yeah.
shit hurt.
You kind of had a feeling though. You were like, okay, this is like a little
Yeah,
too.
it's-
This is a
it's
little
like-
too good to be
it's like-
true.
Yeah.
That episode though, it's the first episode where Mob really just showed his powers off in front of someone else.
Yeah, no,
she
it was
was-
really, it was really
Whoa.
good.
And then this crush was like sitting at the back, was like, you know,
Yeah, I was about to say, dude, that this new bitch better stay the fuck back from my boy mom. That's
Dude,
Yeah.
the best episode was literally when Reagan like finally met up with Mob after that whole like episode and a half of them like being apart.
Yeah,
like,
they're
not-
like,
the
they're like
art
kind of
is
beefing
great.
and shit.
We kind of quit.
and
yeah.
he came back and he was like you know what I think of my master. He's like he was like he was like that he's a really good guy. Like deep down, he's a really and
he's
and
like,
it
he's
just
like, he's like,
the
I always
relief.
known. He's like, I always know what my master was.
Like the relief that Reagan like felt in that scene was
Yeah.
just like because you were like I know he's probably gonna say this but maybe just because of the dramatic like
Yeah.
shit that's happened like the way Mob is like changing like he's growing up so it's kind of like you don't know what he's gonna say but you know he's got to come through.
Anyway,
I think
good.
like the last like couple episodes when they had the fight with was it Scar?
With Claw,
The Claw, yeah. And the President, like those two episodes, last two
those shits
episodes,
were wild.
I think like the fighting was so good.
The fights were better in season 1.
Yeah,
Hands down.
I think that the fights. I think that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
drew
no.
me into this show. Like it was funny, and like it played with your heartstrings, but then the fighting just on top of that just kind of brought it all
The-
together. Just made it very
the-
complete,
the-
rounded.
The ending fights like were not as good as that one he had in like the Dream World.
Oh yeah, when he was
That-
going
Oh,
The
against
yeah.
dream, no, yeah, the
Oh,
dream
yeah.
world fights were way
Yeah.
better.
I don't know. I think when the when they all collectively fought that blind motherfucker, that blind guy.
Oh,
Oh,
the teleporting guy.
That was sick because he was literally handing them their whole.
Oh,
collection.
that was cool. That was good too.
He
that
was
was
like,
really good.
he was like, yeah, you can't touch me.
Oh no, I kind of like the Dreamworld one just because Dao was really testing his limit.
Yeah.
it really
He's
had
like-
like
That's
it had,
kind of the
it had
first time
like
he
character
tested.
stake.
Because his patience was running real thin on that one. It's because the guy was testing him of how Mob would act if he didn't have his psychic abilities.
That was really
Yeah.
good too.
He made him live for what, 6 months?
Yeah,
6 months,
And
bro,
ev-
like some Tsukiyomi shit.
Yep.
It was wild.
yeah, he literally had him in the nightmare realm.
That shit was actually insane. But I think like this season was really good just because like in season 1 you still see like a lot of like I guess Mob growing as a person, but like here it's a lot more. Like you even notice, like you yourself notice the change at the end of it all. Like,
Yeah,
Like
this
Mob's more,
Oh my
Mob's more
God.
talkative in this season. Like
Yeah.
he has like more saying things. He's not afraid to speak up about things.
He
that he
was
doesn't like.
growing
Oh
as
my
an
God.
individual.
The part where like it was like the ghost of like the family, and he was
Yeah.
like so like distraught over like, you
Having
know,
to
like
Oh,
exercise
if he was
them.
gonna exercise him or
treats
not.
them as people, so it's like it's basically killing somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
And
green
then-
guy was gonna just push him to like the ghost to make a bad decision
Yeah,
to attack,
Dimple.
to basically force him to kill him. But at the end, he was able to make his own choice in that, which ended up.
And then
Mhm.
and then when like Mob's hanging out with like his friends from the Psychics Club, and Reagan called him, he was like, "Please don't call me when I'm doing stuff with my friends."
Oh, do like
Yeah.
karaoke or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that?
he like even like he had like the confidence like even step up to like Reagan because he usually
Yeah,
would
his-
fold over on it.
It's his master, yeah.
I mean, that was all leading up to
That scene,
showing
yeah.
his growth. Because I mean, then you remember when he ends up leaving anyway to
Yeah.
go meet with Reagan, and then he was like, "Please don't call me when I'm with my friends. I actually want to try and have a life outside of work too." He's like, "What are you talking about? You don't have a life." Blah,
And then
blah,
that was
blah,
like that's what started like their whole like beef and shit.
Yeah. Mob was like, "All right, well, all right."
like there's a limit. You know, they're not faking being my friends. They're legitimate people.
I think Mob's like one of like all time is like one of the best like anime characters.
Because he's so relatable.
Yeah, he's like
I mean, it's very good like character growth too. Like you said, you get to see him change and right.
Because in the first season, he was like, "I don't want to use my powers against other people." Then,
Yeah,
of course,
He's just out there just fucking people up with his powers now.
he was really
Right.
fucking him up.
Yeah.
and then in the
Stopping
second
people
season,
up.
he believed, you know, he was trying to help people, like help show him a different path. And once he wasn't able to do that, he knew, okay, you know, there's one thing, you know, trying to be nice to them and not doing anything to them. Then the second thing is when you try all viable options and none of them work, then you gotta actually, you know,
Put some sense
put
in them.
yourself. Yep.
Mhm.
Like
what
the
he
dude with the umbrella, like right before he
Yeah.
fought the president.
Oh yeah.
Well, he
yeah.
he literally
mean-
turned into Naruto at like the last couple like episodes because he was like he's talk no jutsuing everybody.
He really was. He really was. I think the president, like he was like kind of like I guess your standard villain, but I thought it was like so cool, like how like the power thing, like revealing like how strong he actually was.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was
like,
like-
It's like his like Mob's emotional counter too.
Yeah,
yeah,
Kind of like went up at the same time.
it feels like nothing, but it's like that's the only person like who like because I think even
He's
in the end
the
he didn't like
closest to Mob.
definitively beat him, like he didn't like definitively like overpower him. The guy just he's kind of like overloaded.
Yeah, he messed himself up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened?
But then
You
when
store shit
when
for 20
Mob
years.
put him like in that little force field, he's like, "I'm gonna go with you."
Yeah. Oh my god, when he got in there with him, I was
st-
like, oh,
like I
bro.
literally just straight up started crying. I was like,
Well,
"Wow, you,
alright.
you silly."
Which was sadder, that scene or when he goes to his house and he thinks his family's like been burnt to death?
Well, his
That-
family's so
I think when his
much-
family was
that
burnt to
was
death.
tough.
Yeah.
That shit had me
That was
tripping out. Like the end of that episode,
Yeah.
and he was like hyperventilating. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like freaking out.
That's like
I
it's
was
like
There's no way. I was like, there's no way to show a show like this.
because at this point it's like I like you love Mob. It's like at that point you're like I
Yeah.
love Mob. Like he's been through like so much bullshit. Like you would not think
Mhm.
they'd kill his family too. Like I would just be like
I
some
mean,
fucked up shit.
Then you also see a lot new forms of him in this one, because in the
Yeah.
first season you saw the
Mhm.
one where like the inner whatever's inside of him comes out, and that's when he's fighting the blonde guy,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that like his
the other
emotions, like,
sidekick.
they start
I think-
showing off like how his emotions affect how he fights.
and
so,
like,
like-
I think each emotion has a different like form. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the dream world, that's where you see his like his courage, I guess you
His
could say.
courageous side, yeah, and it kind of looks
Yeah,
like
the
more like a-
red-eyed one is like his strongest one because it's like his
That's all
courage like
positive
actually
feelings
fight.
and stuff.
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Positive.
Mr.
And he looks-
Gohan.
and he looks more like a generic like shonen anime protagonist in that form too, because like his hair stands up. He has like the
Yeah.
regular eye. He has like the actual eye like animation.
But in truth, just like when he fought the guy in the Dream Realm, you know, he has that dark side which he can't control, and no one's really been able to, you know, put up a fight against it. Not even Mob himself. Because remember, whenever his shell went away, he was like, "So this is what you have hidden inside of you. Your, your body is too weak to hold the power inside."
Yeah,
whatever.
like remember when he was fighting
All
like
the
the
question
president
marks.
dude? Remember he was fighting the leader and he was like he started geeking out, like he started just laughing, like he was enjoying the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, oh yeah. You see him like start to like his like breaking
Lose
character.
himself.
Yeah, he started to lose himself, but like he
even
caught
said it,
himself
though.
really
He's like-
quick.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, I almost let the person inside of me like come out and take over.
Yeah, because you remember what happened the last time he lost control in front of his brother, and he ended up hurting his brother.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
about Mob Psycho where it's like you see like animes do like the power of friendship and they make it like so cliche and it's like really like ugly, but like for him it's like
It's like
It's
actually how
character.
It's
yeah, it's character. It's not like it's just like oh
It's
it just so happens.
his
oh, my
character
friend.
evolving and in knowing that like him having friends is affecting his powers because it's directly affecting his emotions.
Yeah, and it's not even like in other characters like they always start off like they have friends. He had nothing. Like when you like look at it, he really had like no one. I guess his brother, but like
His
even-
brother, and that was
Yeah,
it.
his brother,
But even the-
And his brother resented it too, so that he really
Yeah,
Yeah,
had
he
a
didn't like
brother.
his brother like secretly resented him, so it was like kind of like
That is until he got his own psychic powers
Yeah.
that aren't working.
yeah.
His brother really a bitch ass.
Yeah, Ritsu was really a
No.
little punk bitch until he got his powers.
But even
Oh,
but even when he got his powers, he's like, "Oh, I have powers now. I can fuck you up. Let's fight." When they're like, in the
Yeah,
alley.
yeah, he was still like
Yeah.
tripping, and Mob had to humble. You got to get humble real quick.
Yeah,
That's what you gotta do. That's
Yeah.
what you gotta do with shit.
You gotta
people
get
sometimes.
stunned. You
But
gotta
I
get
mean-
stunned real quick.
But Mob's ultimate goal is to hook up with that one chick, isn't it?
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
see,
she
all right,
only
so,
had like maybe 2 scenes in this season.
Yeah,
the
I don't
first
know.
one was
Aren't we like about to be
like,
done?
where she's lying.
No.
So, do you guys
you
want
know-
me to tell you something?
No,
no.
See, every time you
no.
say
Greg,
I'm
you
about to,
spoiled way too much
every
for me.
time
No.
Greg goes, I'm about to tell you something. It always ends with a spoiler, and then
Yeah,
like
Greg,
I'm not gonna
Greg
say
is notorious for spoilers.
it's actually
You know what
ridiculous.
it is?
Yeah.
You know
I'll
what it is? In Mob Psycho, like she's in key scenes and you see her like looking at the pictures and she realizes like Mob's only in one of them, but she realizes he's there. Like
Yeah,
and she
Mhm.
knows
I think-
who he is. So
I
it's
think
like
he was key. I
it-
think
she-
he was keyed into what she is and what he is anyway. She's just like she's just
like
waiting
she
for him to
knows
say
who
something.
he is, but like to like in season 1, like it was so like they made it like obvious that like she has
He
no
talked-
idea who you are.
I'm
Like
pretty sure they showed,
literally,
like, a-
you're invisible.
pretty sure they showed like a flashback of him showing his powers in front of her.
Mhm, like they were
Yeah,
different.
and then-
Yeah,
And,
she
and
knew-
they were
she
playing
knew it
hide
right-
and
it was
seek,
right
and
before the race.
they were playing hide and seek, and she forgot that she was playing, and they were still hiding.
Yeah.
And
she just went home.
walked off. Yeah,
Mob
But in season 2, she showed up at the first episode. Then she showed up when Reagan was by himself. In the
yeah.
Oh yeah,
when,
she was wanted like
yeah,
dating
he was
advice.
older.
But also,
Yeah.
I feel like in season 2 compared to season 1, they didn't talk about her as much either. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel,
yeah.
definitely not.
I feel like maybe that's like because Mob is like getting away from her inside his head.
Maybe
You know, he has actual friends, and
he did.
you know, there's like that one girl, the reporter girl, and then the one girl in like his club.
Yeah, he's kind of low key
There's
like
more of
he's
them,
kind
so-
of
Oh, yeah.
gathering some bitches like low key.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
don't forget the other 2, the one that's a witer, and then
Yeah,
the
the,
one.
the reporter. Yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
ain't getting.
and
he ain't-
And
she
then the
ain't- she
girl,
ain't getting
then the
them.
girl he saves from the rich guy's house.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
the
yeah.
one he yeah, the
Oh yeah,
Possession.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a fucking bitch, bro. Fuck her.
For real.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
what
oh my
the-
god, in the
fucking
In the
dream.
dream
that was-
world.
That was the sad part because she was like, "So that's how you really are, huh?" And she's like, "Yeah." Then she tries walking away like, "Sorry about everything," and then she starts bawling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that was sad.
And he's just like, it's okay.
Yeah,
Like
he's
he totally
oh,
forgives her, and she's just like, that's like she just
that
starts
sh-
breaking
He's so
down.
forgiving. It's that
Like,
shit.
you could do all that shitty stuff to him and just say sorry, and he'll be like,
And
okay.
it's so shy. Like I
Like,
just
it's
like
like-
put you through hell.
That's the kind of guy Mob is. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, like even if you like,
I-
because
You know
the
what?
president was like trying to like fuck him up so hard. He almost killed his master, and he was still willing to forgive him, straight up.
You know what I think it was trying to key into? I think it was trying to key into that it's not. It is a weakness of his, but it's more like his unwillingness to have confrontation. is
Yeah.
more why he's so forgiving, is because he doesn't want to have any confrontation. So that's why the courage form, whatever, quote unquote, like, is kind of him having the willingness to like actually have a confrontation and being like, I actually need to fight. Like, I can't just like solve this with words. Like,
Right.
sometimes, like, in this specific situation, like, is it okay? And that's his dilemma. Like, when is it okay for me to use my powers against people? Like,
It's always the last second.
yeah. That's because he doesn't want to do it. He's so resentful of the confrontation that he'd much rather resolve
Because he also
word.
he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He knows, like, up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So Mob Psycho really is pretty much the most wholesome one this season.
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah.
main ones we're talking about, yes, but
With,
quintessential is fucking.
I mean, yeah, totally.
quintessential one, bro. But hold on, there's one more thing about Mob Psycho before I switch. I wanted to ask. Oh yeah, if the president doesn't overload, he's at full power. Can he beat the evil spirit?
Inside Mob, nah.
No, the evil spirit that the main evil
That trap mob.
the one that trap mob. Can he beat him?
Oh,
So like
If he
basically the most
doesn't-
most
probably,
powerful
yeah.
over spirit if he doesn't overload.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
can he win to the extent that we saw, like the extent of power that we did see him use before he overloaded? Could he beat?
Well,
could
he was
beat him?
fucking up Mob, like, even when he was like really trying to fight.
Yeah.
Like, he was still like putting up a fight and basically like counteracting him. Like, he wasn't like, it's not like he went into that mode like he did in the dream mode. It's just start fucking shit up. Like,
Yeah, Mob's barriers are so strong. Like they stated that like multiple times. Like he has a super thick barrier, and he broke that shit in like one punch. That's how like strong.
Yeah.
True.
it is.
I feel like if the president doesn't blow up, he whoops Mob's
He
ass.
probably wins. I mean, or Mob
Yeah,
probably
like,
like they probably would have ass pulled something for him, but
because you have
Well,
the evil
like-
spirit
oh, of
who
course, yeah.
you have the evil spirit who forced the inner thing. Like, he broke Mob's shell and made
Yeah.
that evil thing come out to basically self-destruct inside of the dream.
Even because like Mob and One Punch Man are made by the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
The main guy shows that like Mob and One Punch Man have like limitless power. So I think that even if the president went all out and like really pressed him, I think Mob would still like have enough power to just like overpower him.
Because if it wasn't with him in control, it would have just been the thing inside of him, which still hasn't been fully explained. It's just been teased as for being some ancient shit that no one should ever deal with or mess with.
Okay, hold on. All right. Anything else about Mob Psycho before we switch off? I'm gonna resummon Fahad Jamal.
Resubbing him.
Amazing show, everybody. If you have not watched it,
Watch it.
we
Watch
all stand it.
oh,
So
Which intro is better?
First one. I think second one.
two, yeah, two.
Second one.
But
Second one.
we cannot put disrespect on the first one.
I don't like the
The
count.
first one's fire.
Yeah.
Ever the
I
first one, I was
love
like, I think the count.
21, 22, 23.
I am back.
I like both. I like both of them.
Yeah, they're both good.
Yeah, I like both of them, but I like the second better.
Second one is better. That little drop with the girl, that was really
I
good.
think two with the
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's next?
Let's see.
Like two's base roll was so fucking good.
We have
Mm.
number 2. I think since it's similar to, I was gonna ask something in it for Shield Hero, so we'll do Shield Hero next. We've all watched it, other than Fajamal, but he doesn't care, right?
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Okay. So just for you, Fajamal, we'll do a little back intro into Shield Hero. Essentially, what it is. It's like one of those animes where you get summoned to like a fantasy world. Basically, it's like a guy. What was his personality? Was he a shut-in? Was he a
Yeah,
shut-in?
he's like he only played like
Basically,
video
yeah.
games. He was like,
A
Okay.
shut-in neat.
Another. Yeah. So basically, your
Hikikomori.
classic shut-in neat guy gets teleported to a different world, and you think it's like, okay, it's another like standard like fuck this shit type one. But the first episode's like 40
In the
minutes.
first
too.
episode, they immediately established that it's trying to break the shell.
Yeah, so they get teleported. Essentially they're in a world where there are these waves of catastrophe. There's 4 of them, and they have that world. They have to summon 3 heroes or 4 heroes to come and save them. and so they summon a spear, sword, bow, and shield, and this guy gets the shield.
I heard about this one. Yeah, the main guy has a shield. And
Yeah. So he gets a shield, and it starts off like all
Just
good.
the
It's like
ultimate feels bad.
yeah. If all the ones
Is
you
it?
get the
Is it,
shield.
though?
No, Kingdom Hearts,
it
you
though?
always choose the shield. In Kingdom Hearts, you always choose the shield, so I respect that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Kingdom Hearts doo-doo, so
Get out of here.
So we get the so he picks the shield, or he doesn't pick. He gets the shield, and then it starts off like okay, everyone's like being kind of nice to him, but you kind of get like this hint that like something else is going on, and then it starts to become more apparent when they're picking like who gets
When they're
for the
being
squad.
introduced to the king.
Yeah, they introduce to the king and they forget about him. Like the king doesn't even address him at first, and then he has to remind him he's there. He's like, "Oh yeah, shield hero, blah blah blah," and then it progresses to where they pick and they get like these servants, and he gets no one wants to
Nobody at first.
nobody wants to
Yeah.
be with him except one girl. One girl does want to be with him, and then they start adventuring a little bit together. He levels up a bit, and then he buys her some shit, and then like essentially all she does is that she basically lies and tells everyone that he raped her, which he didn't.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he lies and tells everyone that he raped her, and then nobody fucks
Yeah.
with him now. So like they all
Oh,
think
and
he's
you
like
also find out it's the king's daughter,
it's
too.
the king's daughter, and so it's like he's in on it. Basically everybody's in on it except the heroes. The heroes don't really have any knowledge of it, but that chick, she's with the spear hero, and they kind of become like really. The spear hero is like his biggest I guess fuck you, like I don't
His
fuck
rival?
with you. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I
She
guess
just starts
his
riding
rival.
his dick.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really good. Just like how they switch it up, because he kind of becomes like an anti I guess like hero towards them, I guess, because he just does not fuck with them at all. He's like, yeah, I'll help you fight the waves, but I don't fuck with none of you. And he keeps getting snaked. Like they always keep snaking him.
And
That's
like,
so sad.
so during the first wave, everybody's like fighting all these creatures. Oh shit, there's a village over there. Let me go save it. And he goes in, he like helps the village out, saves them, and no one gives him credit. Like no one fucks with him still. Like oh, what are you doing? Like you're supposed to help us.
Hmm. But I think we can all agree that the biggest thing that started everything for him, or kind of got him like going the right direction, is probably my vote for best girl this season, Raphtalia. My girl Raphtalia.
But
So-
unfortunately, that was one of the things that was controversial for this show.
Like I had to come back for this
The-
too. He's like, oh,
He's like, yeah,
No,
my baby.
no. Yeah, because it came up on the news feed sometime that it was controversial just because they were encouraging slavery in this one,
Yeah, I can
It's
see that.
anime. It's anime.
and as
It's
well
like,
as
guys,
as
come
well
on,
as
guys.
the Me Too movement, because the chick obviously faked the rape, and that was around the time where
Yeah.
all this
That-
other
yeah.
shit was happening.
All right, my thing on that is like that shit fucking happens though. Like people fake rapes, people like, and like
Oh,
slavery.
yeah.
It's like it's a fictional show, man. Like
Yeah,
At some point,
it-
you just can't get
it's
too deep
in-
into shit like that.
Yeah,
It's
but
in a
yeah.
world where there's fucking magic, and no one has a fucking problem with that.
Yeah,
That
Bro.
doesn't like.
There's a child that turns into a bird. Like
yeah. Like what are we
Yeah.
talking? Yeah, like what are we talking about?
Like
Yeah.
they're fighting demonic waves that magically summon
so
out of thin air.
They,
Like
they're gonna find a reason to get
Oh,
offended.
everyone finds a reason to get mad at something.
It's 2019.
I personally thought the
29.
slave merchant was a little too fat. That shit had me tight.
I didn't
But-
like his glasses.
For
But I mean,
real.
nonetheless, the show really is different compared to all the casual, like Sword Art Online or what's some other isekai ones or other world anime.
what is it? In another world with my smartphone.
Yeah, or even Konosuba.
Konosuba.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about
Yeah,
Konosuba when
too.
you're describing it.
Oh.
Even
Or-
Konosuba kind of makes fun of other shows like
Yeah.
it because he's not given everything in the beginning, which that's where one of the characters show up, which was given a super OP weapon and he became like a stereotypical hero. This guy
Yeah.
starting from the stables and moving up to a mansion full
Yeah.
of ghosts.
With back to
And he
Shield.
still hasn't left the first town either.
Yeah. So back to
Yeah.
Shield. I think you see that change again, like you kind of do with Mob, but like Kimmy changes. He kind of changes like twice. He starts off like I guess he's not really excited to be in the new world. He's just kind of like trying to figure everything out. That he has a super like fuck you to that kingdom type feel, and then he kind of starts getting brought back. Maybe not for the kingdom, but his main goal was basically just fuck everybody. I can't trust shit. And
Yeah,
then,
and unfortunately, compared to all the other heroes, the Shield hero is the only one that's considering this as like, oh, I'm gonna get stuck here. unless I do something.
Yeah,
about it,
all
while
the other heroes are
three
like
are acting like it's a video game.
they all started off like it's a game because they like also Fahad, they had previous knowledge. So the other heroes, like, it's actually the fantasy world is a game in their worlds because they're all from like different versions of Japan.
Yeah, it's like different
Yeah.
parallel universes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're not all like, you know, they're not like in the same area. Like they don't like live down the street from each other or some shit. Like there's different worlds completely. But like they when they find out that the shield hero doesn't know anything, that's like they also like start to like not fuck with him then because it's not a game in the world. He just has no
But-
idea.
That's also when they started to set him up. Is when they found out that he didn't know anything.
Shout out to my boy the shield hero. That's my.
Is this show still ongoing?
Yeah,
Or-
it is. This
Yeah.
one. This one's
Yeah.
this one's a
Episode
25, I
13.
think.
Right now, right now we're like halfway
Uh
down.
huh. What else happens? He meets
I actually want to check that out.
with Raftalia. Yeah, he kind of gets his like he gets switched up. He kind of like
But
starts.
yeah, he starts
caring.
going the right way for him because he gets Raftalia, which basically shows him caring for someone else, which you wouldn't expect, seeing as he's been betrayed so often.
and then he gets
Which is why he keeps a slave crest because they can't disobey their master.
Uh huh.
In other words, she can't really betray him without her getting hurt.
He still is.
Wait.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
think about that. He
Reptalia
still
girl?
he still has it, right?
Yeah, because
no, so-
Raftalia wanted to keep it on after.
They took it off.
Yeah, and then
So
she
she's
wanted it
like-
back on because it showed like she was like, this shows your trust in me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. Then
That's
he
what
had my girl Philo.
She's Reptalia. I love.
Your mic cut out for a sec.
I love Philo, not in like a David with Reptalia kind of way.
You can't lewd Raftalia. It's not allowed.
It's not
But Philo, I think she's cute. She's funny. Like her one-liner. I think she's a great character.
Hmm.
Lolly.
Yeah, for real. The Justin falls asleep. I see the B now.
I see the B. The B is out.
Justin, you'll lie.
No.
Night then.
But yeah, and it turns out as well, like besides the king and the older queen, there's also a high queen and the next coming queen. Because in this world, the queen is the one in charge, not the king.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
And the queen wants to support the Shield hero, and whenever they got summoned, they were like, you gotta be nice to all of them, including the Shield hero. But there is a reason that the king does not like the Shield hero in particular, which is unknown right now.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a religion where they only they think the shield hero is the devil.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is that,
so,
that's so ridiculous, bro.
right?
Yeah, but even then, like the king says, "Oh, I can't, I can never trust a shield. I need to keep my family or whatever." Something happened to him before.
Yeah, no, he definitely got maybe
That's
like
probably
they
the
summoned like
cover up.
they probably got
Probably the
snaked
devil
like.
thing is the cover up.
I know they say like you can summon a different shield hero.
I'm
Or like a
a-
summon
I'm a-
hero when you die.
A shield hero probably like took his bitch or something. So
Definitely,
he
took his bitch. Definitely took his bitch. That's the only thing that makes
Yeah,
sense.
But the High Queen and the other queen, which is the younger sister to the older girl, they both want to befriend the shield hero, and they're like, "Stop this nonsense! We gotta get together because there's a second wave that did show up, and they lost that one. It was a failed one." But
Oh
then
yeah.
the-
My when what's her name? Glass.
Glass.
Very
yeah.
very
Yeah.
creative name. When Glass pulled up, she basically piped them. Also,
Yeah.
he's really underleveled. Like all the other heroes are like 60 or something. He's like I think 40 still.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, the
He
shield
can't
hero,
attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he earns XP at a lower rate than even
the
like
shield hero
Raptalia
is
does.
not allowed to pick up a weapon.
Which
it does
is
not allow him.
No hero is.
like a different weapon than their own.
Yeah.
Than the
Yeah.
one, right? Yeah.
Which is
Which is-
specifically a bigger disadvantage to him because he can't even, defend himself. I mean, he can defend himself, but he can't fight back.
He had
Yeah.
like those orange balls on because he can't take damage either. He can't feel pain.
Mhm.
So he had like these little like orange ball monsters, and he fights the spear guy. He throws it. He's got to keep that thing on me. You heard?
Yeah, he really.
And just,
The most
shit
annoying
was fucking
thing
funny.
of the show is just how manipulative the queen is. Not even the queen; she's a princess because she's like she can't be queen because her destructive nature. That's what it said. They said that since she's so destructive and manipulative, they don't want her to be a queen. Which is why the younger sister is.
that's
Yeah,
why
bitch
she's,
is
she's,
crazy.
she's trying to kill the younger sister now.
Yeah.
I hope I don't. She does not need like a change of heart. I hope she gets fucking
No.
bopped.
Like in this most recent episode, Raftalia came up behind her and fucking soul stabbed her or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were about to stab her. That should have been lit.
That would have been lit. That would have been pretty lit.
But it's so annoying how manipulative and how supporting everyone is of this in that town, at least.
Yeah, like it's I don't know. Some of it's like they're kind of dumb. I mean, like I know the other two heroes are starting to see it. Like she's fucking crazy.
I think the bow hero sees right through it.
He just doesn't want to accept it.
The bow.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
the bow
But
hero is like
I think the sword guy,
stubborn.
to be honest,
I think the sword
Sword
guy
guy
is
is-
gonna die.
might be.
because all these adventurers went on their own little, they went on their own adventures for a while. Like the spear guy stayed in the capital with the princess. He was trying to get land and all this shit. He was gonna be lord of that one town the Shield Hero saved, and no one wanted to be under it because the guy was gonna be taxing them double or triple or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the sword guy, he killed the dragon, which since he thinks it's a
Kill
game,
the dragon.
he thinks it's just gonna despawn or whatever. It ended up causing a whole epidemic in that mountain, which the Shield Hero had to go take care of, which I think is pretty realistic, if you want to say, because usually you would expect, oh cool, he killed the dragon, right? He's probably got some cool item and it's just there, but no, it actually you kind of use common sense of a rotting corpse or carcass and it causing that much of a disease. So I thought but I mean, well, my point is just how each thing these guys are so they don't understand what they're doing. They're ignorant of what their actions cause. They're thinking, they're being the best thing out there, but at the same time, they're causing so much destruction. The bow guy was a renegade and he's been taking down these kingdoms. In other words, yeah, he's been doing that, but at the same time, he's been causing a lot of people to lose their homes and even civil wars after the first. He takes down the government.
Yeah.
I think it all
Wait, what are you
kinda-
guys talking about?
It all ties in. Shield Hero. I think times in where he's like an unsung hero. He's underappreciated. He's cleaning up all their messes. I remember they're all like adventurers, and they're like all complaining. Like, someone took my job, took credit for my job. And he's like, no, I had to clean up after y'all.
Clean up your shit.
You left the dragon. You left that one town where the Civil War started. You left them without food and water, and it shows that he's trying to do good, and they're just there for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, they don't want to drink like.
And what the Shield Hero I think is doing is he's setting everything up to the point to where when he's gone, everything's gonna be set. Like he won't have to worry about anything, seeing as how he's accepting the fact that he's in that world.
I wonder how it ends. I wonder if if there's they end it end the show after this 25, or they go for another season. I could see it ending at the 25 because they're already on wave 2.
Oh, there's.
I think he stays.
He stays in the world.
He either stays or he brings back.
So if he stays in the world, what has to change though? Does the king get a different view of him, or does the king and the other bitch die?
Becomes the king. Becomes the king.
Well, he marries the little girl. He
Melty.
gets a melty.
Maybe polygamy is,
a lot more problems than me too. If that happens.
Now that Richard said it, and put that energy on the internet, it's now acceptable. All the lolly stands are coming out the cut.
Maybe polygamy is allowed,
They ship Melty and
remember he tried to stay up Talia.
You cutting out.
Philo would be like, oh, is my tell you my dress is beautiful. He's like, oh, don't ask me that. I can't answer that. He tried to say so distant, but you could tell he's very connected. He really cares for Raptalia. When she got injured by the poison gas from
My
the dragon.
girl Raptalia. I don't care if she's technically whatever the fuck she is grown.
A fox.
She's a fox. Yeah, some fox raccoon.
This is a fantasy world. Raptalia is legal.
Facts.
And she's he brings it up, and she breaks down every time. So I feel he's gonna try to leave, but she's gonna convince him.
Oh, dude, if he leaves, if he does actually leave, and she can't go with him, or or maybe she goes with him, or if he can't go with her, or if she can't go with him, that'd be some real sad shit to watch.
What if it just ended like that? He's like, all right, bye, see you.
Peace. All right, it's cool. Peace out. That'd be a big feels bad.
That's why I'm stopping myself from reading. Okay. I am so.
Oh, you're reading ahead. Okay.
No, I'm so tempted from reading everything.
Okay. All right. Give me...
I haven't, but I do not want to.
All right. Give me a quick little. What do you think happens to? Give me a small little. You have to go in the detail. What do you think happens? How do you think it ends?
He stays.
He stays.
Yeah, I agree
Okay.
with Richard. He
Okay.
stays.
Do any of the heroes not make it? Does any big character not make it?
I'd say they choose to leave.
Yeah. Or how about like living? Like do they die?
Living. I could see the
The
spear,
spear.
guy
The
dying.
spear.
Spear dying.
He's just.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
We hope.
He's fucking retarded as shit, dude.
We hope. All right. I think.
From
Yeah.
the 3, I think he'd be the last one to turn his attitude towards the shield hero.
Oh, definitely. I think.
He
I
got
think-
mesmerized by the pussy, man.
For real.
The little girl, you know,
Yeah, he tripping. That dude.
Philo.
That shit. Honestly, he was a dickhead before, but when we started doing that weird shit with Phil, I was like, all right, you are off the shit. What is wrong with you, bro?
He just starts, like, especially the most recent one where he
Yeah, he
threw
goes-
the bracelet thing on
He
it,
goes
and he
full
just starts.
keto mode, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah. Hello.
Man starts tweaking. I think the sword hero dies. I think he'll start to try and expose, and I think they'll snake him.
Okay,
Um,
fuck the bow dude.
The bow guy's
that
an
dude's
ass.
probably retarded as shit.
You like the bow guy? He's not ass, but he's just
He's the voice of reason. Like, remember when Shield Hero and the Spear Hero fought?
During the duel, yeah,
During the duel, he was like, nah, bitch, you cheated.
you used
Like,
magic.
Well, yeah, that was the bow hero's point in the story to be like, oh, I see that they're cheating him, and now this point that the episode they just dropped is the sword hero's point, same thing, where it's like, holy shit, they actually are doing some
But
fun.
Yeah, I think
even
one,
the
I
shield
think-
heroes,
one or both of them get murked.
I think the bow hero flips and joins him, helps him.
I think
I
the
think
sword
the
guy is
sword-
the first one to turn.
I think the sword guy would. Yeah, I think the sword guy will turn because I think when he gave him the little crest thing because him and the bow guy they still had their kind of beef when they were talking about getting snaked on the credit and
Mhm.
shit because he wouldn't believe him that he wouldn't believe that he actually did wrong. But the sword guy he was even said to be a smart guy when he came in. So I think he'll probably figure it out, but it'll be too little, too late. He'll get snaked and killed.
Yeah,
I hope
'cause when the
mine.
shi-
I hope mine gets fucking bopped, bro. I hope she gets thrown off a fucking cliff. or
she
something.
deserves to get fucked by goblins.
That too. Shout out to
Fuck
Goblin
her.
Slayer.
A fate worse than death.
Shout out to
Shout out
guys.
Goblin Slayer.
Shout out, big ups, Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, great show. First episode. of the
Yamaro.
First episode really put it on.
past.
Alright.
Shut your ass up, bro.
Alright, so now that we're
JoJo.
I forgot about JoJo. Alright, let's hop into JoJo. I wanna
Wait, Deli,
what?
what's the timestamp for the recording?
I don't know. I can't see.
You can't see it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Alright.
You
Alright.
can't.
It,
I
it,
can't see it. Head
it
ass.
should be. We started at 10:41. It's 11:43 now. So
That's an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's an hour, so I'm in.
Yeah.
Wow,
Alright, let me-
I'm surprised the anime one is going longer than the game. I guess there's more shit to talk
I'm
about
not
for individual
surprised.
shows. Yeah, it's
I'm
individual
not
shows.
surprised.
I'm
We
fine
could have spent a whole hour talking about one show.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, we
coulda.
could. We really
Um,
could. Yeah.
All right, let's go into JoJo. I think so. I know David hasn't watched. You better mute David.
Yep, that's a yeah.
All right, so David,
Yeah.
muted.
you already.
All right.
That's a yeah.
Everyone else has watched Pajima. I don't think you really care.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
All
so-
right, so this one I've been looking forward to for a while.
This is the show with all the Ansems in it, right, Greg?
What?
All the people that have the spirits behind them, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stands.
yeah.
The
Stands.
stands. Yeah. The stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the memes where it's oh, look, two stand users fighting over what just died.
Yeah, and there's two guys standing.
Today I think I'll watch a stand battle. Ora. Yada yada. Totally cool.
Okay. So it's JoJo season 5 just dropped.
Part 5, sir.
Part 5. Sorry, I'm so sorry. JoJo Part 5 has dropped, and we are a little over the halfway point. They kind of settled their first little arc, I guess, of the part. I guess the part gets split into a couple arcs. So
Is it
they
each season a different? It focuses
different,
on a different
yeah.
show?
So you don't. So yeah,
Yeah.
you haven't watched either. So JoJo, yeah. Each season's a different guy. This one is a little different, but so it starts off with Jonathan Joestar. He is the originator of all this, and then you go to his grandson, and then his grandson, and then after that, it's his uncle, I guess technically, because Joseph, who is the grandson of Jonathan, the first one. So his grandson has like an affair, and he has a kid, and that kid is technically Jotaro's
Uncle.
uncle.
Yeah,
It gets confusing as fuck. So
Okay.
you get him, and then this one's different though because the main enemy in JoJo, his name's Dio, and in season 3, he basically becomes like an immortal vampire in season 1, and then he comes back in season 3, and essentially he takes Jonathan's body
Because he chopped his head off.
because Dio had his head chopped off, and
Jonathan's head chopped?
no, Dio got his head chopped off,
Oh,
and
okay.
and then at the end of season 1, Jonathan dies like defending off Dio in like on a boat and shit. So Dio's like with his body in the water, and then it skips a season because it's Joseph's story, and Joseph doesn't fuck with Dio in that season.
Also, I must mention that the whole Dio being in part 3 is an entire plot hole, because one, the way that like he even has a grandson is that Ernina or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
She escapes in Dio's coffin, technically, and she rides to the mainland with some random baby. And in part 3, they find the same coffin with Dio's head in it, which is a plot hole entirely.
Yeah,
She was just talking with Dio in the bottom of the ocean, man.
You know,
Yeah,
Or
shit go.
piping Dio in the bottom of the ocean.
Facts.
Hell
Give
yeah.
him that head.
Facts.
That's all he can
You heard, you heard.
So
That's all you need. That head.
So yeah, and then
Norman's just like, I hate you guys.
you guys are the worst.
after Jotaro defeats Dio in part 3, we skip that part, and that's part 4 with the illegitimate son. And so this part is Dio's son that he had with like some random girl because he piped a
so
lot
weird.
of girls in part 3.
Yeah, apparently he was just fucking bitches in like part 3, and like he has a kid with one of them. Somehow it survives with his vampire DNA, but
So he hasn't. Wait, Dio has.
Dio has a
Dio
kid,
has-
but it's with
okay.
but he piped with Jonathan's body. So technically,
Because
it
it's
is
his head on his body.
It's head on
so
his body, so it's technically
the DNA is-
a Joestar. So it's like Dio.
We have to see if he has the star, the star.
I think he does. I think he does.
I think
What's
he
his
does,
name?
Yeah.
His name is Giorno.
Giorno
Giorno Giovanna. Giorno
So wait,
Giovanna.
is
It's
Jonathan
real-
also illegitimate? Is he also an illegitimate
No,
child?
Jonathan's,
No.
Jonathan's the
Jonathan's
first
legit.
person. Jonathan's the progenitor, whatever the fuck you want to say.
So
the
Giorno is
entire-
illegitimate.
He said a Pajorno?
No.
Is Giorno?
Not the literal.
No, the illegitimate son is Josuke.
Josuke.
Kashikata or whatever.
Very.
I was hoping it was Jonathan, because then we can call him Jon Snow. But
No.
it's okay.
We'll get. Don't worry. We'll get the Game of Thrones podcast. Will be something
But
special.
every
all
every.
those-
Go ahead.
I was like, all their stands are kind of almost the same.
Yeah,
Like Josuke's and Giorno's.
Yeah,
the
they're pretty
healing.
similar. They have like the healing factor.
They get more varied throughout the parts.
Uh
Like
huh.
most of the main characters' stands are just
So-
punching this.
So in this season, it's like Giorno's main goal is to take down the mob. That's like
His main
Yeah.
goal is not necessarily to take down the mob. It's to get so high into the organization that he changes it from the inside out.
Because of
So,
drug
like,
dealing. He doesn't want
Yeah,
doing drugs.
he doesn't mind being like, killing people and being a gangster. He just doesn't want
the
them
drugs
to
and shit.
be like a drug dealer and just
Okay,
be like
so-
the ultimate evil.
So Giorno is the main character. He basically does want to join the organization to change it from the inside out, which I really did forget about because it's been weeks. But
Yeah.
along the way, he meets Bruno Bucciarati, who is basically he's one of the higher ups in the mob, and
He's a capo.
he wasn't a capo at the time when he met him.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, he was lower level. Like he was right underneath. Like I mean,
Yeah,
like
he's,
he's
like, right
kind
up.
of lower echelon.
Yeah, he was like right before Capo. So then Giorno joins. He meets like they have the little crew, and they're basically their main task when Bucciarati becomes a Capo is to escort the boss's daughter, and the boss is someone that no one knows his name. They've never met him. They know nothing about him. They don't know
No
what he
one
looks
even
like.
knows his face. They
No
don't know
kids.
what he looks like
Nothing
or his
about it. He
name.
just gives orders.
Even the top of the top in the organization, right below the boss, doesn't even know what he is, what he looks like at all.
Yeah. So they get a task, which is surprisingly, when they get the task, they're like, "This is so insane," because, you know, I wanted to take him down, and we're already getting so close to him, like in a way with his daughter, and you're wondering, like, you know, oh, he's got to bring his daughter, got to keep her safe. So then the first part is them trying to escort the daughter to the boss, and they kind of go through. They fight like other stand users along the way.
And yeah, that's like the whole main thing about JoJo's. Is like, it's not really a shonen anime in the typical sense. They kind of like fight their way through each opponent strategically, and like different, and you have to fight the different abilities like the stand users have. Like one guy has the ability to turn people tiny, and he has to fight like that. Like what's his name? Narancia has to fight against the guy who can turn him and like other surroundings tiny, or a guy who has like a shark ability that can just like swim through other portals of water. It's really interesting.
So they go through, they fight all these guys, and then we're kind of getting closer to like where we are now in the season. They get they secure her, they get her all the way to where the boss is. Who left? Richard? We lost Richard for a sec. All right, he'll be back hopefully. They get to where the boss is, and the instructions say one person can only bring my daughter up, and they choose Bucciarati because, you know, he's the head, he's their capo. So they go to take her, and as he's going up the elevator, he's like talking to her about like she's afraid, she's terrified because she's never met him either. She's never met her father, so she's like terrified of like what he's gonna be like, you know, all this that. And he's like he's your dad, like, you know, it'll be okay. And as he's going up, she disappears on him, and all that's left is her hand, and he is flipping the fuck out. Like her hand's like the only thing that's there. And then he comes to the realization is that the boss wanted them to bring the daughter to him so he could kill her, because that's the only person who could have any tie to him that could figure out what he looked like. And I guess that was like kind of like the big crazy reveal. And then the boss's stand is kind of fucky too. They all like the main villain stands have some like time shit.
And so and this is the part where like I'm ahead in the manga and I don't want to say anything.
Please don't.
Welcome
I'm
back,
not.
Richard.
I'm not.
Thanks for being back. Sorry for technical difficulties.
My man, that happens to the best of us.
The boss's stand is just so crazy, and like Bruno is like flipping his shit. He's like, what is happening? What the fuck? Because like when he gets there and like saves Trish, that's her name. He tries to fight. He gets a call on his phone, and like Giorno's like, yo, something's wrong. Don't fight this dude. and Bruno's like, you're over there, and he blows over a pillar and he sees his own body, and he's like, what the fuck? And he turns out that he punches. Go ahead.
As he's fighting, like they can't even, like he's not even close to, like he has no idea how it's even happening. Like it wasn't like with Dio where like they could figure out, like there was no, like he was so blown, like when he saw himself, he was like he had no idea what was happening, like not even a clue. Like he was immediately gonna get stomped.
Yeah, and at that point he dies in it technically. After fighting the bosses, which stand name is King Crimson, by the way. Like he's fighting them, and then Giorno comes to save Bruno, and he technically dies, but Giorno was like healing him with a stand, and so now like Bruno's alive, but he's kind of weird. He's not technically like he can't hear his heart. He doesn't bleed. You can't hear his heartbeat. He's been acting really strange the entire time, and like people are catching on to like, yo, something's wrong with Bruno, but we can't put our finger on it.
All right, so I'm about to have a big hot take.
Okay.
Intros are terrible. So let me elaborate. The music is great for every intro, but they spoil so much. There's so many spoilers. I saw this in Naruto at first. It's just they show so much, but then in the new intro, they show that Trish has a stand. They kind of hinted at it, but they showed back.
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly what the stand is.
Yeah, we knew like that she had it just because she could like see their shit, but like.
And they show a person. They show a person that hasn't even been like talked about yet, and their stand ability.
Yeah,
I just say anything.
I just avoid watching that shit now because
Yeah.
like, I'm like good at like picking that shit out now. It's fucking bad. Like I hate like
And
seeing
I
it.
think this season's intro, or season like part 5's intro is pretty bad too.
I didn't like.
To be honest,
I like the
I didn't
beginning.
really like it.
Fighting go. I think the outro actually. The outro, the first part of part 5.
That shit was
That jump.
I think the Fighting Gold intro is actually fire now. Like now I've watched it so many times.
Fighting Gold is flames. Yeah, I used to hate it.
Fighting Gold.
The one now I don't like. It's like slow and like.
Yeah, the one now is not.
I like how
that ain't
I like how it begins. Like I like the
Yeah.
beginning part of it, but I don't like the overall. Yeah, like the whole piece of it's not good. Other than that,
Called
for
Trader
JoJo,
Rec Room.
what shit? Last episode. What happened last episode again? It was like
The start. It's
oh,
the
the
start
plane,
of,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, the Notorious B.I.G. arc where like they get a great idea. So like they get on a plane, and so like nobody can follow them. So like they just like deep clean that plane that no one like is not traced or anything. And so this guy starts walking toward the runway. And misses like, if you don't get off the runway right now, I'm gonna fill you full of holes. Back the fuck up, and he just keeps walking with like a weird face. So Mister just pops the shit out of him with his bullets, and he just dies right away. And they're like, and Jorno's like has the premonition of like, yo, something's wrong with this guy. I just can't put my finger on it. So like he goes to inspect them. He couldn't find anything. He's dead. So fast forward to they're on the plane. Jorno hears this weird rumbling, and he opens the refrigerator and he finds that like there's human bones and fingers in the refrigerator, and he's like, "This wasn't in here before," and they're not alive; they're dead human bones. So he's like, "Can someone just take this out of the airplane?" And so they take it out of the airplane, or whatever. And then Journal starts noticing that there's writing on the plane. He's like, "This wasn't here either," but it looks like who's writing this shit? And so he notices on his hand a pen, and there's like a stand that's eating away at his body.
That reminded me
And
of
so
the
stand
what's
for
his name?
part 3.
Yeah, Joseph. Oh
Yeah.
no.
No. Oh no. So they it reveals its stand name to be Notorious Chase, but like for like legal purposes, like most of the stand names in JoJo's are named after artists and bands, and so this stand's name is Notorious B.I.G. as in like Biggie.
One of them is literally Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice.
Wait, really? Vanilla
Yeah.
Ice?
Yeah.
Well, they also they'll say one thing like Jorno's his golden experience. That's what he says.
Yeah.
But it's like Golden Win.
I don't know. I like it. It's cool. Let me see.
It's just for legal reasons, so they don't get
Okay.
sued.
All right. Before we resummon David, let's give a quick little prediction for the end of this JoJo thing. Obviously not you, Greg, because you know.
Okay.
Richard, give me a little something. What we got?
I mean, since in every not season, but they get to the boss, they fight. It's a great battle, and then the end. So I just think it's gonna be
Another one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be generic. They find his. They go to Sardinia. They find his background, and then they fight, and he fucking bops him, and that's it. We moved on to the next one.
For real. Justin, you got anything maybe different or same generic shit?
Hold up. My phone just told me I used a whole bunch of my data when I'm on Wi-Fi right now. It told me I used 1.6 gigs of my 2 for the month.
It's April 4th.
It's the 4th,
It's
bro.
the
You're,
4th, bro.
yo, Bill about to be something fierce, boy.
What is happening?
It's that
I don't-
podcast life, bro. The Wi-Fi can't handle.
Mhm.
No, like I'm connected to fucking Wi-Fi, but it's like I'm so confused. Okay, whatever. I don't even. Fuck. What were we talking about? Oh, how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna discover like who he is, and obviously that's gonna give some clues. They're just gonna dig deeper until they can find something. But I think the fight, he's gonna pull something out, kind of like with Kira's like bomber thing and his other ability that he gets. Like it's in with Dio, like not just him fighting, like the time stop of all of it, like.
Yeah.
Like I think it's gonna keep. I think he's gonna pull. He's gonna pull something else out. Like that's not gonna be his only ability. It's gonna be something else. It's gonna be some bomb he drops like mid fight. After the first time they really fight him, like they think they get it, but like nah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same.
I think they. Well, never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say, hello, Greg. You better spoil some shit. I'm not having it.
Well, it's not really a spoiler. Or
Nah,
anything.
because
We
no,
just-
I don't give a fuck, Greg. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
In the fight,
I don't care because I probably forgot about it. I don't give a fuck.
Unless this boss is like somehow connected to somebody we already know, or connect because like remember when Jotaro was like, "Yo, I'm coming to Italy" or whatever. Still hasn't showed up.
I don't think he will.
Like, totally forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
Yeah,
there's no space for him to come in. Like, what could he?
Well,
like,
no, Koichi said there's no need. I don't think. Yeah, he said like when.
Oh,
he said that,
yeah.
Oh, so I don't think
Koichi
he is
was
pulling
like,
up.
he's like, there's no need. I think Jotaro can handle it on his own.
Yeah,
He's a good
Jotaro.
enough guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jotaro probably not pulling up.
No matter how it
I was
ends, nothing's gonna beat the Jotaro Dio fight.
Yeah, no.
It was just a
sucks
culmination
that
of so
Stardust
much.
Crusaders.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like Battle Tendency so much too. Like I feel like that
Battle Tendency's
in
intro.
Diamond is Unbreakable. Diamond is Unbreakable is really good.
Nah,
but
Stardust Crusader is probably the best one.
Stardust Crusaders, yeah, is obviously
That's
the
like,
best
yeah,
one.
that's
It's the
usually
most
what everyone
famous.
says.
Understands. I'm really like, like the smart, like the god. That's what kind of brought me into it. I love like these these weird religions. So when they went to Egypt, they brought the gods into it. That was really cool in my opinion.
I think.
Oh yeah.
Part 4 is my favorite part that we've seen.
Part 4 is good.
No, we see. So that he's trying to say that this part is his favorite part.
Oh yeah.
No,
apparently,
because he's read like most of it, so he probably knows like the other parts too.
Part 5 is good, but it's not my favorite part.
Okay.
Yeah,
Part
apparently
6 is your favorite.
I know some of the main JoJo's from like the next parts. And
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff in like it's gonna be crazy.
gonna
Like there's
be
one that's crazy.
Okay.
There's one that's crazy.
All right, let's end it on JoJo. I'm gonna resummon David.
And last and probably the best
Yeah.
one in my opinion of this season.
I am ready for this one. I've been waiting for this one. I wanted to say I wanted to save it for the end. I wanted to do it like JoJo. I guess there was stuff to talk about for JoJo. It was like another JoJo season. I like the mob change up, I guess. But
Is this next show we're talking about one season only?
Promise Neverland?
No.
No, there'll be another one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dip out for this one though,
Oh yeah, I forgot. Greg hasn't seen
Yeah.
it.
and I really want to see it. So
Yeah. Hello,
See
David.
what-
We're about to begin Promise Neverland. Oh, Greg just
Oh, he
straight
dipped
up,
out
he just left out the
completely.
whole jump. Hey, Jesse.
No risk.
Jesse's big and beautiful now.
Oh, it's Justin. On me, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, on mine it's Richard.
See, I'm envious of people that will be listening to this, like listening to it only because you don't have to see fucking Justin making all these stupid faces into
I
the
know. Honestly, it's kind of like a disgrace to YouTube to upload the video format.
thing. Shit. Really fucking up players. It's cool though.
What?
Oh, do the blue face. Nah, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. Okay.
Disgusting human being.
I think. Well, I know it's my personal favorite. I think Justin, you like Mob Psycho. I think Mob Psycho you would say was your favorite for this season, right?
Yeah. Promise Neverland is second for me.
Okay.
I really liked it, but the continuation of a series always gets the upper hand. I think just because it's already established.
But I think this, like, just the brand newness of it,
It's
just
very yeah.
jump. And I don't know, like, I haven't watched a lot of anime. I'm like David, but it's like something I've never seen before.
Promise Neverland. Okay. So the last of this past season that we'll really be talking about, but definitely not the least. My personal favorite too, honestly. Promise Neverland is, if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna say it again. Big spoiler alert, because I know there are probably people who are like just waiting to watch it, maybe with their friends or some shit.
So it's one season in so far, right?
One season in so far, brand new story.
How many episodes?
13.
Would you recommend me to go watch it?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, now you're like, oh, should I watch it?
Yeah, because you guys are hyping it up.
Like everything else we've watched, we should watch.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
Like I don't even care if we just spoiled like a whole bunch of shit for that shit. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, even though you spoiled the shield thing for me and the Joe, like the shield thing, I might go back to.
Yeah. That's like
yeah.
spoilers, like okay. There's not like a lot of twists and turns, unlike Promise Neverland.
Yeah,
it's based on some of the reveals because it's like it's a thriller. So,
and here's the thing, like to get like my girlfriend to watch it, I had to spoil it a little bit for her because like that first episode.
Okay, yeah, we can explain. I'll do the first episode, and then from there, Jamal, you can decide if you want to watch it or not.
Okay.
So first episode only, strictly. So, Promise Neverland. It starts off with you have three main kids, Ray, Emma, and my boy Norman. They actually put Norman on, a character named Norman. Norman's been struggling since Paranorman, that movie, like way back in the day.
Paranorman.
We've been underground since like Paranorman. Josh Norman, I guess, like in football, fuck that shit. We want characters. So Paranorman, last one we had, but Emma, Ray, Norman, they're three orphans. They live in a place, they call it I think they call it the house.
It's called Neverland? Oh.
No, it's called the house. It's something else. It's another name for it.
Farm 3, right?
Yeah, Farm 3. And then so they live there, and they have a ton of orphans, and then it's one main mom. It starts off like episode's really good. Just all the kids, they play together, have all this fun, they eat together, and there's these characteristics between them. Like Emma's like the most athletic between the three main kids. Ray is intellectual. He's not like necessarily outright smarted. He just has he has a lot of common sense. He's really rational.
It's a Sasuke. He's like that.
He is kind of like the Sasuke, like edgy, cool, whatever.
Wait, which one?
Ray. He kind of looks like a little Sasuke fuck too. Then you have Norman, who is the genius. They hype him up so much, and I fucking love it. Yeah, he's a fucking genius. So he's like a genius. Like they literally they play a game of it's like a game of tag, and it's like he's the only one he's like the one that's it. He finds everyone, and then they try and play a game where like everyone's it, and they just gotta find him. It's like they hype him up. I love it. It's amazing. But so like in the end of the episode, they're like playing the tag and shit and all that stuff, and then it comes to the point where one of the kids, her name's Connie, cute little girl, sweet little girl.
Something's bad.
It's about to be her day to get adopted, and everyone's like, "Oh, Connie, don't go," or "Oh, she's about to get adopted," and everyone's like sad, and then the mom takes her out to go go meet her family, and then Norman and Emma, they realize, Connie forgot her little bunny, her stuffed bunny, and they're like, "Oh my god, we gotta go get it to her." Connie loves that thing. Like she would be torn apart if she had to leave without it. And they run up and they go to this thing called it's like this gate where it's like this little tunnel where you basically hold, where they just go to take you, and you're gonna go meet your family and shit. So they get to the gate and they're walking up and they're like, "Where's Connie at?" They see this truck which is ready to take her out, and you're "What?" Like this truck, it looks like a truck to move fucking like a barracks. Yeah, like a barracks truck, like a military truck or something. Like why would that be there? And they're looking for her, And then Emma goes to look and see maybe she's in the back waiting or something. And then she opens it and she's like, oh my fucking god. Norman's like, what the fuck? And then Norman comes over and you see Connie's like dead. And you're like, what?
Like a test tube.
Yeah, so she's like just dead. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, what is that? And then they hear people coming. And they're like, where? Like, they're like, where's mom at? Like, how? Like, what could be happening? So they go and they hide under the car to see, like, who might be coming. And you see the mom walk by, and then you see this big fucking demon monster, like big ass fucking. It's fucking huge, like jacked as shit. And they're like, what the fuck is that? And they're like terrified, like like they have to like hold their like hands over their mouths before they scream. And then they take Connie and like drop her like in a little test tube, and then they basically reveal, and then the mom's like in on it, and then they basically reveal there that the kids are meant to be shipped away to get eaten by like these demon things.
They live on a farm.
They live on a farm basically, and they at a certain age
they're meant to.
And every now and then they're given tests.
Yeah, so
their cognitive stuff.
Because they established that like they're farmed to be given to like the highest like people, and like the demons, like the highest ranking ones get to eat the delicacy, which is like which is kids that are raised like in a perfectly carefree environment that's loving, and their brains are nurtured, and that's the best part is the brain.
So they realize,
they literally say like make sure that you don't injure their brains.
Yeah. So they realize they live like in a demon.
Up with this idea.
It caught everyone so off guard. Like you could tell it was about to be something, but you wouldn't think it would go to that extent.
Like up until like the last like couple minutes where they go and see the truck, you would not think it was like a suspense thriller. Like you just like, wholesome anime where like orphans just grow up together, and then boom, just something just out of left field just hits you.
Yeah, you kind of were hints that it was wrong though, because they were told not to go past into the forest.
Yeah, you could always tell there's a little something. Yeah.
And just one thing, like whenever they realized Ray told them that they forgot the bunny, so that's why they went.
Yeah. Okay. So, Pajamal, based off that, are you gonna watch it or no?
I do want to watch it, but I kind of want to hear you
hear
guys
more
talk
about it.
Yeah.
I mean, from here, like we're basically gonna like spoil like everything.
We're gonna tell you exactly everything.
Unless we went all the way to like for the very like halfway, I think that's for the most.
Honestly, you guys can spoil it for me, and I'll watch season 2 with you guys.
Okay. So
no.
No.
Fuck you, Fahad.
I mean,
Well,
you know what it is? No. If he comes back,
everything.
we can tell him, and then like before it comes out, he can like go back and watch season 1 himself to like
just still watch it.
Get refreshed into it. Yeah, it's still good. So like throughout the season,
yeah, but there's a whole bunch of shit that's just so like you gotta experience it.
Like I just remember like. So for everybody out there, we group watch a lot of our animes.
Yeah.
Go on PS4, go on Crunchyroll, and we're like, all right, 1, 2, 3, start. And this is one thing we all group watch together, and just all our reactions were just priceless. It was amazing.
Wait, bro, new idea. We make reaction videos too.
See, this is a new anime. See, this is something I would want to group watch too.
Very, very good.
We could probably use use Rabbit on the computer, or even just through the console, and then just mute. How would we do it though? It'd be easier doing it through this, having it only record Discord, and mute the anime. Or I guess you would do like how they do it, where they minimize.
Yeah, it's minimized in the corner. You could do something like that. Yeah, no, it's doable. Definitely a future endeavor. So Fajamal, we spoiling this for you?
You guys are saying for me to experience it, what? Right?
Yes, I would say it's good to experience. Yeah, because we're gonna fucking go in on this shit. So.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just mute you guys. All right.
Okay.
All right, have fun.
All right, motherfuckers. That real shit. So now I don't think I can go into like explaining everything. I guess should I explain a little bit for like people who might have not watched it? I don't know why you're still listening if you have.
I guess.
Never
Well,
watched
I
it.
guess well, I guess-
You don't know why they're still listening? I don't know why they started listening in the first place.
I guess you could say, like, really at this point, you know. Yeah.
I think
Whoa.
I don't know. Just overall, like, what do you guys think of like how it ended?
It ended with a punch because I was never expecting that.
Honestly, I thought it was gonna have a sad ending. I thought
They're all gonna die. I thought like
I
there's
thought it
no
was
way.
like a one season show.
Yeah,
Once
At the
they,
end, they try to escape and they get bopped,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
like they fall down the canyon or something, you know, or like the cliff.
with that one episode where Norman got sent off, right? And he came back all depressed, like saying, "Holy shit, we can't make it."
That shit
You know, I
really,
was thinking, all right, that's the beginning of
that
the
shit
end,
really hit me. I was so tight. I felt like I died.
and it was the beginning of, it was
You
the
think he's
beginning
dead?
of the end.
Huh? He might not be.
No,
Because like
he's
I like
she
it.
opens the door and it's like that bright white light, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
has
don't
to be
think it is.
grandmother. I think it
There's
was
something
grandmother. It was probably grandmother.
They wanted to be a papa.
Yeah. I mean, you remember Mama got impregnated.
Yeah, they'll probably like find him. They'll probably like find him.
Because
I feel like they'll
remember
find
they
him.
said that at HQ, there's humans there.
You
Yeah.
think
So
Greg
There'll
was
be a
still
time
spreading.
skip between season 1 and season 2.
Probably a little bit, maybe like a few, like maybe like a month or something, like not long, not a
much,
big
because
one.
I
Not
think
a
they
big
want
one.
to. I think they want to show us how they lived. You know.
Yeah, cause I mean,
So,
and then I don't know, they could do a big one though, like maybe like their whole thing is like
they're
them
just
trying to
gonna
come back.
I think they're just gonna do like a year.
They
They're
could
just
do
gonna time skip
they,
like a year.
They could do like maybe like a year, yeah, because they did time skip like over the past. They did a few months during the course of the season, because like I know Emma said like 2 years I'm coming back. So
After like Norman died.
yeah, oh
Yeah, it was like a two
yeah,
3 months.
because
Not to forget that,
Phil,
your boy Phil,
My boy-
yeah,
the
he's-
the true
Phil,
genius.
Dude, there was a reason why he showed up on the top anime characters at
Yeah.
one of those weeks.
I never understood. Like he was just some irrelevant, just little kid. I guess I thought he was just there for like the cute factor or something.
And he was the genius all along.
Yeah, he was like. I remember it was like when they told him.
It's like I had a feeling.
It's just as I thought.
He was like, what? Bitch, you're late.
I knew this off the rip. He's like, I knew Ray was a little snake too.
That was
Bro, but when they show at the end when he's whistling,
And yeah, he's
Yeah.
whistling the song. Oh, dude, I thought it was so cool how like
Yeah,
the
and then
song
she's
tied
like-
into like
it's-
their main little song, like the little sad song
yeah,
thing.
and then they're like, "How do you know that song?" And then has that super memory of whenever he was in the wall, you know.
That's
And
one that's
he was like,
bullshit.
Mom,
It's
he
complete
was
bullshit.
like, Mom, why did you give birth to me?
And I was like, oh, I literally screamed. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
It was so sad.
Now that one time where when they find out he's the snake,
Mhm.
that like I think because it was a cliffhanger. It was like the end of the.
That was,
episode.
like-
He was
I had a
So
feeling that was
you-
gonna happen. Like, I liked it because like it was like you were like predicting shit too. Like you're like openly trying to like predict
Yeah,
some
because
shit.
you had a chance that the girl, like Gilda, was it, that the other guy was it, and then
Don.
at the very end, it says, "Oh, so it was you." Because
So yeah, because like the
he lied to them. He lied to everybody.
you thought it was Gilda, and I'm like, because I think like they kind of made it seem like, oh, it's probably Gilda. Like she's probably the
Because she
snake.
went to visit. She went to visit the sister.
Mhm.
Yeah, because she went to visit the sister, right? And yeah, but I was like, dude, like they've been making Norman sound like some 200 IQ fuck like the whole time. He definitely just like told everyone a lie because he had a test rate too. You never know. And well, what do you know?
But he didn't test Emma, right? Then he was like,
No, he
Emma-
was. Yeah, no, he was low key. Emma is the biggest snake of them all. She's trying to kill them too. Emma wants to eat them
I
personally.
mean, Emma was supposed to be a mama, but she turned it down.
Yeah.
What I like, my thing was like she should become a mom, get a bunch of kids, and then just release them all.
She could.
That's what I wanted her to do.
It would be like
Same.
a long term thing though.
It would have to be. That could only be possible if they already had like a little colony or a little town somewhere in outside
You-
of the farms.
You think they're gonna find other humans in this next season?
I mean,
They already know.
because they have
Oh
the
right,
humans
yeah. They said it was.
to support the demons, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are humans that were resisting it.
Faz letting us know he's doing an essay. Poor man. if you're listening on the audio part, I guess Fahad's sharing his screen and he is showing
Write
us
an essay, please
his
kill
essay.
me.
Oh, okay. Let me full screen just so you guys can see a little bit.
Shout out to all my people still doing
Write
scrolling.
an essay, please kill me. Yeah. If you're still listening right now, you a champion. If you just like cut in, I'm putting timestamps. So if you cut in just for the Promised Neverland part, also a champion because Promised Neverland is lit.
We did one part. I think
Fuego.
we just accidentally skipped over is
Oh, shit.
the sister, how she was trying to take over.
Shit. Hey, full screen.
Yeah, and she shut that shit down fast. She shut that shit down fast. She was like, "You fucking gone. You dead.
Because
Get
not
the
only
fuck
was
out of
Ray-
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. You can't. Y'all can't hang around here no more.
Fucking down.
Wait, what
Get
was
fucking down."
what was it that the sister left behind for Norman?
The pen?
That-
A pen?
Was it the pen?
Yeah, was it the silver pen?
Do you remember Ray went back to see what was left for Norman, and Norman left it for them?
I forgot, honestly.
When they were playing tag with the sister,
No, scary.
That was some
creepiest thing ever.
scariest game of tag you ever watched. Dude, she was moving. She was moving. It was like some Tyler Perry shit, bro. She was she was
If
moving,
there's a live
bro.
action Tyler Perry,
It has to be Tyler Perry, Sister Crone, bro. It has to be. Dude, she was moving. That shit was terrifying. Yeah, dude, I think Promised Neverland was like.
If
that
I was
was
to
the one.
compare it and how it felt to other shows I've watched, I'd compare it like the beginning to Seraph of the End. You
Yeah,
ever watched that?
Mm.
I watched.
Just
I remember that first episode.
Just because in the feeling that there's a bunch of kids,
yeah,
and, they're taking their blood because they're in a farm for vampires and they feed off their blood.
yeah, but they
But
get
the
out
difference
and there's
is-
like
yeah,
the whole
the
resistance thing.
Yeah, one of them gets out, while the brothers and sisters get killed, and then he joins the resistance. This one is you're stuck in, and there's no assurance that there's even resistance to get out.
They got most. I don't know. I think next season they'll probably do they'll probably time skip a year, and then I think they're gonna go back. They'll probably over the course of that will be another year of them trying to go back to the farm. I wonder how the mom plays into it now. I don't know if she has a change of heart or what her thing is. I think she probably does. But I don't know.
She's probably gonna get murdered. She's probably gonna get
Yeah,
murdered.
they might just murk her.
Yeah,
I mean,
There's
she
no way
fucked
they
up.
They might start the season out
She
with killing
fucked
her.
up so hard.
Yep.
That's why when she flashed back to all that stuff, she was like, "I'm tired." Like she knows she's gonna die. She's like, "I'm tired of going along with it." Like I know, she's just accepting it. Like it's
That's
over.
why. Yeah, I was so sad when she was like, "Good luck." Like she was just, "Good luck, take care."
Remember she
Yeah.
went to Phil and she was like, "Don't worry, they escaped safely. They're all fine."
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think she'll act the part still, but she won't.
She might
will
live.
actually-
She'll die.
She'll actually help them. She'll help them. Yeah, she'll die, but she'll be dying helping them.
Yeah, there's no way. After the shit she's done, there's no way they let her live.
What do you think Norman's doing now? He's probably getting trained. Like,
I think
That's
he's
what I
getting
think
I think
it
they're
is.
gonna find him and he's gonna be kind of broken, maybe a little brainwashed. Like-
Yeah.
That's what will probably happen.
heck, they might try and make him the leader for the humans.
So remember when they're on the wall before they cross over and Ray sees Norman?
Uh-huh.
I was like, "No, it's not real. It's a figment of his
Every time,
imagination."
yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Because it happened again, with Emma too. I think she had a little thing with him. I'm like, oh my god, please no. I was so pissed too because Norman was really about to secure the bag before he got shit. He put his hand on her cheek and she was like, ooh. She was feeling some type of way and then he got scooped. So
What do you think made the mama stay behind? Did she think she was gonna be like what we're guessing, a mama that could help them? Obviously,
No,
she-
I think
find
I
out
think
what
she
was
she
happening.
she realized. I think she kind of realized that she had her chance and her dream to escape, but she kind of realized she gave that up already. She realized that it's not. I can't just escape now. I already I have all the other kids. She has to take care of them.
Right.
She realizes that she missed her chance, but now
Uh-huh.
it's their chance. She kind of is at
They're
she's
realizing
at
what she
peace
felt.
with the fact that she knows the same feeling as regretting that she didn't do any, you know what I mean, just her survival, maybe that wasn't the right move and they're gonna make a different choice and it didn't turn out for her, so she's like, maybe that's the right decision.
Mm.
yeah. I think season 2 needs to hurry up and come out. God, dude, 2020.
Just like all these other shows, One Punch
We'll
Man.
be here in
no.
2020 talking about it.
2020, bro. That's so long from
On
now.
our 800th episode of the
Yeah, at this rate.
For real, if we're going to. Hey, man. All right.
1000th episode of One
Let me
Piece and
see.
you know.
Mm,
Yeah, we'll be on like 1,600 of One Piece.
Jesus. Let me see.
One Piece needs to fucking end.
That's been going on. It's been before
Hot
Naruto.
Dude, that
take.
shit. Yeah, I think
Naruto.
I think where they are right now, they're probably like only a little over halfway. They're probably like.
They got
They're
they got
probably
a
like.
new arc too.
Yeah, they're probably like
Another arc
six,
coming
maybe
out.
like 60,
You know what's
70%.
crazy? You know what's crazy is they go that far, but it's at the point where it's just like, if you're gonna start watching it, someone just explains a whole bunch of shit to you, and you just watch important parts to catch up. Like, you cannot watch all of it.
Are there a lot
There's
of
so fucking much.
I'm back.
are there fillers?
Minimal.
Barely.
No,
Minimal.
there's barely any. It's
Yeah.
all.
Are you talking about
canon.
One Piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
see.
Oh.
Let me see.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
spoil
sure there's-
all of One Piece for me
I'm
because I ain't
pretty
watching
Pretty sure
that.
there's like a
Ooh,
bunch
can
of
I?
movies,
Can
right?
I?
Yeah.
Can
No,
I?
no,
No.
no.
Oh god.
I might.
What do you?
I
yeah,
might
man.
try to.
Yeah, man. 12%.
Richard.
So of the 879 episodes that update weekly, like it's not even split. It's just constantly going on.
Oh,
One Piece has
12%.
12. It's 12% filler.
Oh.
So like,
Naruto is like Naruto is like 40.
oh, Naruto's
something,
absurd.
right?
Naruto has like the last. The last.
One of the biggest things that happened in whatchamacallit.
And One Piece, one of the biggest things that happened in there.
Which is wait, never mind.
I can't talk about it, but yeah.
So only
What
about 104 to 105 episodes of that 870 something are fillers.
Yeah.
know
Naruto's
what?
literally half the size of that and has double the fillers.
Yeah. What Naruto's filler percentage? What 500 episodes? 43% filler. Absurd.
You know, all of Boruto is basically a filler. Besides, like,
Yeah.
Until the
5
movie
episodes.
part. Until the movie part. Yeah.
The only good episodes are like the father child,
Son,
the parent
yeah.
child day was
Whenever you
like
see the father.
those episodes were lit as fuck.
Hell
I'm kind of excited since Bleach. You know, they're bringing back Bleach and finishing it properly, right?
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Once I'm finally done with Super, that's the next show I'm watching.
I'm on episode 50 of Bleach, and I have not since, but I really want to finish it and wait. I mean, I don't want to finish it immediately just because I want to wait for the real ending
ooh.
to come
Isn't
out.
that like super
Yeah.
filler heavy? Like a whole arc is filler?
Yeesh.
Super.
Oh yeah, Bleach has a
Oh,
bad
Bleach, yeah, whole
filler
arc.
rate too.
Yeah, it's terrible. Bleach is so bad, dude. You want to hear this? So I looked up the Boruto anime fillers, and so to the anime standards, it's only 40. It's 49% filler, so half of it's filler. But if you want to talk about it being like to the anime, like continuity to the anime, it's 82% filler.
Wow.
It's 82%, bro. That
You always
shit
do
is
the
insane.
things where it's like Naruto episode like 15, it's them fighting Haku Zabu, and it's like
Yeah,
Boruto
yeah.
episode
The
15,
fucking,
and
like-
they're, upgate.
They're dressed in like costumes, chasing after like a chicken or some shit.
Dude, like just a repetition of the fillers just reminds me of like this other show called The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Like, there's 2 episodes that is literally just the same shit over and over again.
Yeah,
Like-
it's like a loop. It's like a time loop or whatever.
Yep, it's like literally the same episode twice. There are some differences here and there, but it's like it's a smaller anime and it feels larger. But just imagine, you know, having all those episodes and you know having to go week by week, but having like a whole
So
month full of.
So Richard, in order to watch One Piece, you have to watch double of what you watched in Naruto.
If it's half as good, I do not mind.
The thing
It
with
won't
one,
be.
It won't be.
the manga in one, it won't be. I'll say it, but
It won't be what? It won't be
it,
bad.
it won't be as good as Naruto, just because it's
Oh.
since it's longer. You'll
It's-
feel
I've watched probably like 100, like the first like 100 something.
you'll
episode.
you'll feel the moments.
My old coworker, he said he likes One Piece more than Naruto.
Bro,
I-
literally the last thing I
I think
remember.
it's great.
Well, you also probably
One Piece.
wouldn't shake his ketchup before he used.
The last thing I remember from
Probably.
One Piece is when the little teddy bear is like introduced.
Teddy bear.
Teddy bear.
You mean
Oh,
reindeer?
Chopper.
Reindeer, yeah.
My boy
my
Bopper.
You just call him a teddy bear?
Teddy bear.
Yeah.
He be that's some shit like the other characters would say like,
And
oh, the
I-
cute little teddy bear.
Raccoon.
So,
Oh,
someone
raccoon, yeah.
very little, like I remember very little. The guy with the goggles on top with a big nose.
Boosop. My nigga Usopp.
They're in like
I
they're,
mean, like
they're with, it's like right after the Chopper arc, I think, and they're like in some green area. I don't remember, but I just know it's right after Chopper.
Yeah.
If I remember, if I could kind of
Deli.
Uh-huh.
find out what episode that is, I'll probably fit.
Another hot take. Fairy Tail is low key, actually not good.
I knew you were gonna say
Fairy
it.
Tail, like, not even low key. Like, just I watched the most recent episode, and I'm just like,
Show the desktop. Show the desktop. Marvin.
What? Dude, yeah, hold
I'm
on.
like,
Show him the desktop.
like I
Disrespect
like
my
the
shit,
characters,
bro.
but like,
Don't disrespect
I'm
my
trying to watch it, and I've watched
Come
so
on, man.
much of it, and I'm like,
shit.
dude, it's like it feels like the same shit over and over.
You know, it felt cool when Natsu had to go back in time and save that one girl that disappeared. You remember, like
Yeah, like
Mary Jane's little sister. or
Oh
Mary-
yeah, that was cool.
And like up to like where they come back from that time leap and everyone's older now, and then Fairy Tail is just a crap guild now. And they go to the
Yeah,
ship
the
and
reason
stuff.
the reason I mean I only watched like a handful of episodes, but it's like what Justin said. Like the reason I kind of stopped, I guess I didn't get into it, was because it was basically the same thing. Like,
it's a
Natsu
bland. Like,
and-
even by
was it Lucy?
shonen anime standards, it's bland.
I guess
yeah,
It's like it's at best.
the annoying thing for me was after that whole thing, and when like the future, what was it, the guy with the frog cat thing? It's right after like the tournament.
Yeah,
yeah.
The tournament where it was like him fighting the twin dragons. Like,
That was cool.
I feel like once the Magic games ended, it just like I just didn't give a fuck about anything else. Like, I was just like, I'm kind of.
Like,
I was
do you
kinda
remember
clocked
that
out.
one part, like the whole arc where it's like the time thing where the future guy comes back
Yeah.
and he kills future Lucy, and then he kills like all these other people, but then they turn back time somehow.
Yeah,
And they're like,
the
whoa,
whole-
it feels
the whole
like I
shit-
died and stuff.
The whole shit with the gates and
Yeah, yeah.
all that and the time, like
that
was dope,
at that
but it
point,
was
I got
like
annoyed because just how, I guess, they didn't think anything of it. They just went on like literally the episode right after that whole arc. It was just another, like I think it was either filler or just really stupid.
I just hate that like the fights are like they're basically like they're like discount Dragon Ball fights. Like somebody just is like, oh, I have this power, and it's just like some big fucking energy thing, and then they fucking punch each other. And then Natsu's like, I'm a dragon slayer, so I'm hella strong. And
the
then he
thing
just
that-
beats their
the-
ass. It's like,
is
I
such
was
a
lit,
weird thing.
huh?
This is such a weird thing to critique, but the thing that threw me off was like, I swear, at the end of each episode in the beginning, whenever they get in a fight, you would just see Natsu take like a deep breath in, and then he would like breathe out fire, and it was like
Yeah.
It wasn't bad animation, but it was just like, okay.
That's what
like,
I was gonna say.
Yeah, it was just like basic fire. And
I would say it's like it's
just
good.
so repetitive.
It's good, and like the shit they do is like fucking nuts sometimes. Especially in this season, like the characters have some fucking broken ass abilities. But like it's when they like interpret it in the anime, it's like very basic. Like you even see it. It's like a still. It's like a still picture, and they're just moving the background frame. Like it's not like the character's not doing movement or anything. It's like that lazy. It's like a not. I guess it's lazy. I don't know if it's like lazy to where like some shows just don't try at all. But it's just like I don't know if there wasn't enough budget or what.
Black Clover.
You know what?
Black Clover, like I don't know, Black Clover. Yeah, they do the same
Black
shit,
Clover,
too.
Black Clover, like don't at me is literally like this. It's basically Fairy Tail with less like personality.
Oh wow.
Like the one thing Fairy Tail has is that it has a ton of fan service. You have like Happy. You have like these
Fan
characters
service
are
out the
like
cheeks, bro.
super are not interesting, but like they're funny. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see what they do. Like
Mhm.
everyone's kind of fun and lighthearted, and there's always like some comedy. And then just like in Black Clover, it's all that, but it's just like turned down to like mediocre. Like it's just like, yeah, it's basically fairy tale like comedy and action, but just like lower.
You know,
it's
there's
just
like
worse.
there's a show in between Fairy Tail and Black Clover came out. It was called Arcane Familia, which was basically the same thing as Fairy Tail and Black Clover, except that obviously it wasn't popular enough, which is why they cut it down to one season. And it was literally just a mobster version of both of those things. Like instead of like magic powers, they had like, you know, one of them was good with a fucking katana and the other one was good with guns and shit. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like, see, that concept can be good, but it's just like they just take it and they just do like the basic formula, and it just like, I don't know. Like at this point, like at the point where I watched Fairy Tail, and of all the shit I watched, I still had watched a whole bunch.
Mhm.
So now that I have more experience, it's just like looking back on it, it's just like especially trying to watch it again, like catch up. I'm just like, or I'm caught up. Just got skipped a whole bunch of shit. Like they'll explain it to me, and I just started watching it again. I was back into it for a few episodes, and then just like I watched more and more fights, and they're just like everyone has a person they're fighting in different locations, and it's just like
Yeah.
the fights are always
Their own
just like,
rivals.
I'm just thinking like, bro, let's just move. Like the fights are not fucking interesting. Like
you think
that's
it's
the whole
because they
point
have
of a
too many
shonen anime.
characters and too many rivals?
It's not even that. It's that even it is that. Is that they're all just like they have so many fucking characters that
They're trying to
they don't really focus on any.
I think it's like, I think like they have a lot of characters, but it's not that bad. I think Black Clover has a worse problem, like with having too many characters, because they have too many characters, but they also, it feels like they didn't write like enough into it, or there's not enough in for those characters. Like with Fairy Tail, it feels like everyone has like their own little personality. They have like their own little, like it's like a lengthy backstory. They feel like they belong, I guess, in a way. But like Black Clover, like some of their characters, you see them and you're like, okay, this like, and all right, I still watch it. Tragically, like I still give it a chance. But like some of their characters, it's like they get like in this episode today, it's like or yesterday, it was like a guy, and he's like teamed up with Yuno, Asa's rival, and then Noelle, like his, I guess, future love interest is probably gonna be. But this random guy gets teamed up with him, and they give him like a 30-second backstory, and then that's basically it. That's probably the last time. It's probably like the last time we'll see him. Like I don't know. It's like they don't give enough to like some other characters. It seems like it's like kind of rushed, and you can kind of tell.
That's why I said like Black Clover is just mediocre Fairy Tail, which is already like basically a meh for me. That's why literally I watched like I don't even know how many episodes of Black Clover, like fucking I don't even know, maybe like not even maybe 20 something. And I try to get through like their first arc of stuff, and then they start going to the second. I just was like, fuck this. I don't give a shit about any of this. Like fuck these kids.
Came out,
this non-existent story.
I was hyped, dude, because the first couple episodes were good. The first couple episodes were like,
no, they fucking weren't. They
Black
were not
Clover,
related.
It got.
I do like the characters in it, but it's just kind of slow.
I don't even like the characters. They're just fucking bland.
As soon as it just showed that, well, you know, one of them is a genius, gifted already with all these abilities, and the other one is the one without abilities. But suddenly, he's given some secret ability to be OP.
Wait, we're talking about Fairy Tail still, or
no, Black Clover.
Oh, okay.
Are we talking about Naruto or Black Clover?
I haven't seen Black Clover, so yeah, I don't know about their.
They can go hand in hand though, like almost.
From what I saw of Black Clover, I actually thought it was pretty okay, right? Like I saw it. I think when I was at an anime convention, and I saw it on Toonami. It looked pretty nice, but I think that was past the part where it's like because like in the beginning of the show, I think there's it's just shit straight up, but it gets better as it goes on. So I think the episode I saw was like one of the good episodes.
Asta, what's his name?
Asta,
he really annoyed me.
he does something he was just yelling all the time. Oh.
When I thought of him, I was like, alright, that's just Natsu.
Yeah.
Like I just that kind of behavior, which is immediately just Natsu.
Yeah. Like I said, It's bootleg Fairy Tail. It's just all the stuff
just
that was
'cause-
likable about Fairy Tail. They just did it worse.
And that idea was just kind of burnt out for me, at least, of the character of not having any powers and suddenly having an OP power.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no one wants to fucking see that shit. Like, that's why Black
'Cause, I
Clover
mean-
is fucking dog shit. It should be fucking canceled. Nobody should fucking watch it. It's trash. Fucking hot ass.
I was about to say, bro.
Fucking-
There's someone like who like worked on Black Clover saw this. I feel so hurt.
I mean, I was so hyped at first. Like,
It was a good attempt, but
What are they
like,
talking
you know,
about it? Ooh, they
it was
don't
a good
fuck with
attempt,
it
but
at all.
unfortunately, that
Dude,
genre was already
Dude.
monopolized by.
It's already been explored. Like, it's already been explored to a good extent, and they do nothing to try to break any new ground. Like, it's literally just
I think it's-
retreading the steps.
I think it's one of those things
other,
where like the
shonen
story,
shows.
like where it's good in the manga, but the anime just gives a really bad
That
like,
is true.
adaptation
Yep.
to it.
Usually the manga is a lot
I
better.
heard it's
than
like really good selling. Like same thing with One Piece. Like One Piece, even though like the anime still does good. Recently, I've watched it. I'm like, oh, when I read this, I feel like it was a lot more lit than when I watched it, which is like something I don't do too often. But like, I think it happens there, which is why I mean, like, you know, One Piece is like the biggest selling manga ever. But like, I think you
Yeah,
get
that-
that a lot. With
That's
some
one other
shows.
thing. You know, if you don't read the manga and then you just watch the anime, you think it's really good, then a lot of people they flame you for it because they're like, oh, why you waste your time reading or watching the anime when the manga's better?
Uh-huh.
That's probably the best example of that is maybe the whole thing of Tokyo Ghoul. That whole thing supposedly was a big disappointment. I liked it up to the last season because the last season was just super rushed.
Apparently, it's supposed to be better in manga.
I mean, yeah, definitely. The last season was rushed and it was shit. They skipped so much information, so many scenes. Like at the end, you're like,
hope-
wait, what the
I hope they don't do that to Bleach because Bleach, I actually like. You know, I fucked with
Bleach? They have an opportunity to fix their mistake.
And I read
And they- what they did.
I read the manga and like it's like I know it's
Yeah,
like it's gonna be it should be good.
Deli, you read it too, right?
Yeah, like I know it should be good.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this should be good, so I hope it translates good. I hope
Dude,
they put money into
Dude.
it and actually animate the stuff well, so like we get like
Deli,
good stuff.
Deli, the zeros. The Z.
It's wild shit, bro.
This-
Next season,
Deli, the zero squad.
yeah, I know. It'll be nutty. Next season will be nutty. Hopefully, well, hopefully it's. I hope it's like story wise, it'll be good. I hope that it
I think.
translates.
I mean,
well,
they're
but-
they're the. I think they're the only. I think they're the only probably like. Will probably be like the bad, like the not bad part, but just like there's nothing like I can only feel like they'll be worse in like the anime, like that. I don't know.
Is it
Yeah.
the same studio doing it, finishing it?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
Speaking of studio change, how about One Punch Man with season 2? You know, they're just changing over studios.
Don't get me started,
Okay.
bro.
You see how the animation changed?
Yes.
So bad.
Don't get me started.
Spooky.
Actually, I've not seen that. I'm gonna have to look that up after this.
You're
I
gonna
don't-
be disappointed.
All right.
If they lose the whole like
They have
the
so much
best
traction.
like the One Punch in season 1 of One Punch Man, some of the best cinematography is in like the fight between like Genos and Saitama, like when they have the little
Oh, yeah.
sparring match, and they just like the camera work and the detail and like the explosions and the attacks and the way everything's set up and angled like is so like
And
it's so intense, like it's so well done. And it's just like in the new, just in the trailer. And a trailer's supposed to be all the good parts of a movie or a show. Like the trailer's to get me interested. So the fact that you're showing me shit and I'm just like, this is not good, and this was the best you could fucking edit out.
Yeah, no, I think
That's a
honestly,
cross
I feel like there's not too much to say on One Punch, but like, I will say that the trailer did let me down. I went back
I'm
and watched it a second
cautiously-
time, and I was like, okay.
Cautiously, yeah. Oh my god! Once you watch it a second time and you look for it, you're like, oh no! Like
Well, It's premiering in a week, so
I mean, I still think the animation is good, but obviously not as
No one
well
here is good.
made.
It's not,
It's
it's
just-
not as
Season
like
one.
it's very
Like-
shiny. It's very shiny and 3D kind of esque, and it's just, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
even
know
from
if
the
it'll
trailer, you're gonna
work.
see how Genos look like.
Yeah, he looks very highly edited. He doesn't look. It doesn't look like they have a lot of what is that thing they did, like the overlay, like where they do 3D animation but they heavily overlay it, so that way like it gives it this highly textured, like drawn feel, which is what they normally do nowadays. But like that just looks like they just cut that part out and we're just like, all those metal parts will just be like shiny.
It looks like they're doing what like they did with like Naruto, where it's like it looks really good standing still, but in motion it looks fucking trash. Like, did you see like Saitama just jumping off the building? He didn't look as cool as he used to when he was doing it like any other time in the other show.
The motion of him jumping in the movement in the show seemed like stiff in like low effort. Yeah,
That'll
like
be
it
something
didn't seem
we'll.
like
I feel like that'll be something we'll be able to like go more into detail though once the show starts in the coming weeks.
Yeah, you'll see a little bit.
We should probably, we'll have more time to talk about One Punch.
Even if the whole drawing and animation is turned down a bit, as long as this thing is set, I'm fine with it.
The story,
because apparently the arc
supposed to be awesome.
Yeah.
So as long as it's, I mean, if story's okay and it's not complete shit, then I guess I can let it slide, but it'll still kind of hurt. I think that is gonna do it for this episode. We'll get into more. I know there's still like My Hero and shit, but
we'll get more into it.
Yeah, we could literally go on. This could be a 7-hour podcast if we really wanted to.
Yeah, this is.
We're very passionate about it.
Yeah, I honestly thought the gaming one was gonna be longer, but no, anime, man. It's just all this. There's just so much for the shows. You talk about the story.
Yeah,
and it's just all there.
We mainly talked about things we finished watching in this one. In our next anime podcast, we can talk about things we're looking forward to.
Yeah,
instead.
we can even go back because there was some stuff from this season. I didn't get to talk about Quintessential or fucking Kaguya-sama. So I mean,
not to mention the ones that have already started.
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
It gives me a chance to start watching the stuff we talked about.
So I think it's gonna do it for this episode. Probably from when the first one was dropped. This will probably drop maybe sometime early next week. We're planning on getting a Game of Thrones episode in because that is coming out I think the 14th, which I think is next Saturday. Next Sunday. Yeah,
Game of Thrones came out on Sundays.
Yeah, so not this Sunday, next Sunday. So we're gonna try and get an episode out before then. We have an Avengers one probably coming at the end of the month, so
I gotta buy HBO. Fuck.
Yeah, we have a pre.
I'm not bootlegging that shit no more. We got money.
Facts.
Fuck that shit.
We buying the So we're gonna probably get a few of those. Plenty of podcasts, at least for this month, because April's insane. Like so much stuff coming out in April.
Yeah.
But, if you did enjoy it, and if you made it to the end of this and watched it through its entirety, we greatly appreciate it. I love you. I do. Yeah. I mean, sorry it took so long, but I mean, it's kind of what we were here for. I mean, it's a fun.
I tried not to drone on for anything for too long. Yeah. At least I tried.
Yeah.
It's passion.
It's passion, bro. It's passion. All right. So I hope you did enjoy once again. If you did, leave a like on the video, subscribe.
Please share it.
Share it.
Because,
tell your friends.
If you do, I'll send you a lot of hentai links.
There you go. There's your reward.
There you go.
Share the bull hit.
Alright, so you get hentai from David. Justin will give you one bull hit. One bull hit per person. That's it.
Here.
You can't have more than one. There it is.
Careful with it.
Yeah, it is 50
Nick, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Alright, guys.
Pass out.
I hope you...
David, I'm not going to forgive you for wearing an Echo Unlimited jacket during this.
Echo, yeah, I was gonna point it out.
Bro, this ain't 2000.
Did someone say Echo Unlimited?
It's alright, Dave. We'll let it slide this time.
Oh, no.
It's cheap.
Don't worry. In a couple months, we'll be wearing Gucci, so it's straight. Alright, so...
when the podcast takes off, am I right?
Facts. Alright.
I'm gonna be drinking G Fuel out of my Lamborghini.
I'm wearing stray Echo Unlimited designer shit.
Designer shit, you hear me?
I have New York underneath.
Oh my god!
It's literally just New York.
No. Oh my god. David's gonna pull out a South Pole hat and I'm gonna kill myself.
I don't own that. I did used to own South Pole shirts.
Oh my god.
I had to pull the basic bitch.
All right. Oh, also
I do
follow
my checks on the
everyone
shreds.
on their social medias. I'm gonna put that in the bottom too. So
I'm about to start tweeting some crazy shit. I'm about to start going off.
yeah, I was about to say you
Oh,
guys get
yeah.
active, bro. We can fucking.
I'm just gonna start like replying to tweets and
Yeah,
just
reply
say
to
like
tweets.
crazy shit.
Yeah,
Like,
say some dumb shit, bro.
The shit I repost is usually just to keep for myself, but you know, there's half of the shit I haven't even retweeted. Just because I don't
Pokemon.
wanna.
Pokemon put a like mirror selfie, and she didn't have shoes. And I comment pics.
What'd you comment?
What'd you comment? You cut off.
Do you sell feet pics?
That's fucking hilarious. You probably got blocked. Oh my god!
Like,
Wait,
posted a picture of, like a close up.
you cut out again.
I think you said feet though. I
Close
read
up
it-
of
I
her
read it.
feet.
Daquan, like
he said, "Give me them toes."
He said, "Give me them toes." You probably did. All right, podcast done. Peace, peace, peace. Hope you enjoyed.
Peace.
Bye.
Can't
Bye-bye.
wait till the next time. See you guys.
Goodbye.
Shut up.
And